What do you know, you fun up? Gabagoo, gabagoo, gabagoo. What's happening, boys? Susanna wasn't going to you.
Bruce! Bruce! Bruce!
I'm coming, Jesus.
Let's cut out of here.
That's what I'm saying, Pop.
We stand with penis.
I can't come.
He's with below. By the stench of me. Buenos dias, Juan El Tardamenda Amanda. I don't know. Danny Rob, thanks for the bucks higher.
Fuck you, Mike Morse. Fuck off, you useless, untalented piece of shit.
100%.
Wheelchair prison.
Hunt. Hurry!
Got a new Google Chrome.
The like button, you fucking cowards.
Thank you.
Shuli's Jewish. He can't help it. And I don't mean that as a joke.
Look behind me.
Ribbit, motherfucker.
Katie's wiener is yummy.
This guy fucks us. Window update. Mike Morse. Like horse.
Mike Morse.
I eat cock.
I'm the little man who loves berries. You know what that means, Dave?
The French. Fucking puddle my fucking pants with loads.
Mike gave me the steamer from Cleveland.
Really what's the word I'm looking for?
It's puddle chicken.
Gifted membership machine. Shuli Network. Mike Morse, shut your fucking mouth.
Metallica. Hamas. I am gonna suck him up.
Fucking my heart's racing like a 10 motherfucking thousand feet.
Take it fucking easy, potato.
It's time to wake up.
Get out of here, goldfish, you son of a
Time
bitches.
to get out of bed. Time to wake up. Gotta get out of bed. Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Shabbat Shalom. Good Friday. Great Friday. Whatever you call it. Whatever you want. Payday. Welcome to the BS show. Welcome to TSN. The gang's all here, of course. Mr. Mike Morse down below. Anthony Zenhauser in between plumbing gigs. And, of course, he's back from conquering somewhere in Jersey that he can't remember.
The Seaside Heights.
That was Seaside. Yeah. It was
Exactly.
Seaside Heights last night.
The Reverend Bobby Levy, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing? Good morning to you. It is a busy morning here at BS headquarters. We got a legend with us. We got the man.
You just fucking.
No, not you, Bob. It's not about you for one goddamn second. This is about an actual legend.
Well, he's going to be where I was last week, next week.
Okay.
I found that out.
Good. You can give him all the heads up info on it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. You love him. CEO and president of Jokeland, the man, the myth, the legend, Long Island's most famous comedian, as far as I'm concerned, the one and only Jackie Martling.
There he is.
Hey.
What's up,
You know,
Jack?
I wrote you a text. I wrote you a text, Shuli, saying we couldn't do this because I don't have headphones and my microphone because I'm on the road. And I got this text from you when I was already in Boston. But then I saw you guys had tweeted this, and I'd look like a dick if I didn't at least show my face. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah,
Good.
it sounds fine. You're okay. Can you hear us?
Is it clear? Yeah, it sounds horrible, but that's not your fault because it's coming through my iPad. But
It's
Well-
just a show. It's a
what the hell?
show.
So we'll do a few minutes, and then we'll do it when we can do it right. But good morning, fellas.
Good morning,
buddy.
Jack. It's great to see you, my friend. Where are you, by the way?
I am in Saugus, Massachusetts. I come every August. I do 3 nights with Lenny Clark. Do you know Lenny Clark?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, another legend.
Legendary,
Yeah.
Boston comedian.
Sure.
45 years ago, I was working at Giggles in Tampa, and we're at one of the waitresses' houses, one of the waitress' apartments, and we're smoking pot and getting drunk and doing coke, and I heard this slam. And Lenny Clark came busting through the door. He had driven down from Sarasota, and he said, "Where's Martling? I want to meet Martling." And so we got all screwed up, and we've been best friends for like 45 years. And he's just one of the all-time great characters.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the king of Boston. So, it's one of those things where it's a real honor to go up and work here for 45 cents,
Yeah. And also, he has so much respect and admiration from his peers. So many comics know Lenny and respect him, and he's a legend. So, yeah, anytime you can have a lineup with 2 mega legends like you guys, that's going to be a great show. Where is it at?
Well, it's at Giggles in Saugus
Giggles.
last night and tonight, tomorrow night. It's me and him and a guy named Steve Sweeney, who is like
Oh my God, he's so funny.
monstrous, and also Christine Hurley. And it's it's just so much fun. We just do a half an hour each, and I just wish they had a camera in the back room where we're farting around because it's just, the do you knows and do you remember this just gets with 4 decades worth of bull crap, it gets pretty interesting,
Well, we're happy to have you, and the fans are happy to have you. Here's Dill Dog throwing $20 saying pain in the ass right out the gate when it comes to Jackie.
Meaning I'm a pain in the ass?
Yeah, you're not a pain in the ass. Believe me, we deal with a lot of.
Does that mean he just gave you $19.99?
Yeah.
Yes, Jackie. Yes.
Oh, I get half of that.
I'll cut you in on that. I'll cut you in on that. Here's his.
I love that. I will sit through a certain amount of your fans' horseshit, and then I will bail.
Yeah.
So
That's
this guy
usually
is
how it
judging
works.
me by what you've said, or by what he's read, or by he's just trying to get attention, or all of the above.
You know what? It goes back to the show, right? It's the first reality show was the Howard Stern show on radio. Everybody gets to know you. Everybody becomes a part of your life. So when it stops or you stop, they don't. They're still involved with your life. They still want to know every aspect of it.
You have no idea. I'm one of the most generous guys that ever walked. And I have people come up to me, they don't even know I stopped drinking. And people come up to me in a bar and say, "Hey, man, you want me to buy you a Heineken? I know you'd never buy me one, you cheap fuck." And I'm like, how could you be that wrong on so many levels with one sentence? But but it's funny. It worked. By saying I was cheap, it got my goat. So Howard knew that button would work every single time.
Yeah.
It's like when you tell somebody you're angry. If I say you're angry and you go, "I'm not angry," all of a sudden you are. So
Yeah.
It's
But
true.
that was his genius. So I do not fault that at all.
First of all, Dave Daffler's thrown in $2 and he said, "Stop the Timmy hate."
Exactly.
He wants the
Yeah, I'm
Timmy
not
hate
discussing
stuff.
that. I'm not discussing that. That was, I would love to know. I'm sure all those tapes are completely demolished because if Howard's new wife with her cat loving and pet loving thing knew that he was telling my ex-wife that he wanted to fuck a dead cat in his skull, that maybe Beth would be like, exactly what does that mean, Howard?
Well, he could just look at her and go,
Thing. He knew it.
Yeah.
Nancy made him crazy. Howard was so attracted to Nancy, and he loved her, and he hated the fact that she was my wife and I got to fuck her. And when he saw that hurt her, he couldn't get enough. And of course, if the fans see he can't get enough, they line up like cows,
Sure.
So, and it worked. What can I say? It worked. And I had to make a joke to get out of it. And then, so I was getting it from both ends, but not anymore. So, Levy, you worked Hemingway's last night?
Yes.
I'm working there. I never heard of the place, but I'm working there with my friend Rich Harkaway, who's a great, great guy. And I guess he met the booker somewhere along the line. So
Harkaway, is he the doctor?
End, right? It's way at the end of Jersey. It's almost Atlantic City, right?
No, it's Seaside Heights, but it's like not. It's off the boardwalk. It's a nice little town, part of the town that I never seen. Because when you went to Seaside, you were always right at the beach, and it's really a nice place. It has different rooms and very nice place, and it was fun. It was fun.
Great.
Is that guy Rick a doctor that you're working with?
Oh, Rich Harkaway. Yeah, he's a urologist. I put him on stage at Governor's in 1982 when he just was starting out, and he wasn't that good. And he said, "You know what? I don't want to do this." And he spent like 30 or 40 years becoming a urologist, and he has a huge practice and makes a fortune.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years ago, he went back into comedy. And, he came to one of my gigs and said, "Listen, could I ever open for you?" And he's just the nicest guy in the world. So he opens for me sometimes. Yeah. And he came up with this gig at Hemingway's. And I'm like, sure, if you can do the gig with me, I'll be glad to do it. Have you ever met him? He's a nice character.
Well, yeah, he worked at the hospital where my wife worked. And that's how I got to... I never met him, but he hit me up recently, and months ago. Recently to me is I don't remember. So he's like, "You got anything?" I go, "I don't really go out that much anymore, But yeah, he was very nice when to her, and she thought he was a good guy, And I
he's
met
a good
him.
guy. Yeah, I don't work a lot either. People say, "Are you retired?" And I say, "Yeah," until the phone rings.
Well, that's why we got to get you set up.
I say yes before I answer the phone and go do the gig,
That's what it is. A booker called me last night when I was on stage. I go, "Let me just answer this real quick." I go, "Whatever it is, I'll take it. Thank you." And I just hung up.
When's the show start? When can you get here?
A few other people are gifting some memberships and super chatting. Let's put them up. Dave Daffler has gifted a network membership. There's one. There's two. Here we go.
100%.
He's on a roll. He's gifted a third. And a fourth. Come on.
Tell me what that means.
So we have membership levels. You get content behind a paywall on this channel as well, but you have to pay for it. So there are two levels. There's a $4.99 level 1 and a $9.99 level 2. And these people, when they gift these memberships, they're gifting a level 1 membership to people. So now
one of their friends, like they send it
to anybody who's in the chat that doesn't have a membership, it automatically goes to them. Yeah.
They do know there are charities out there and there are children starving.
Yeah, I am.
Donate the money to them instead of to Shuli.
Yeah, my kids are fucking starving. Feel free to send in as many memberships as you want.
Yeah, Jackie, this is a good thing for you. You should, what I mean?
This is what I'm saying, Jack. You can make more money than you do on the road sitting at home doing joke hunt, for example, on YouTube.
Everybody screams at me, "Why don't you do a podcast?" And me and Peter Bales have a podcast called Standup Memories, and we're about to start our 5th season. I think we got 3 viewers, and we've had such great shows, but they don't know what they're doing. But I just
come over here, Jack. Come over here. I got a whole team. I got a staff. All you got to do is sit in front of a mic and you go live and make some money.
We've got headphones too.
We got headphones. We got the works over here.
Wait, who just gave me the fuck you? Is that you, Shuli?
What? No, that was my producer, Frog. He's backstage. He puts up pictures and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's the Frog. He's an asshole.
What was the fuck you to you or to me?
No, he's a Shuli.
I think it's more to me. He doesn't like me as a boss, which is fine. That'll work.
He's an anti-Semitic.
Yeah, he hates Jews and
join the club.
Get lost. A few more people.
Anti-Semitic. pathetic. I mean, surely you were doing this podcast stuff for about 4 seconds, and all of a sudden you were making a profit. I said, yeah, I know guys that have been doing it for 10 years, and they're still looking to raise the money to pay for their iPhone. You know.
Hey man,
You know, but, God bless you, Jews.
thank you. At least somebody's saying it. And I got the guys with me. It's a home run with these guys. I got the boys in the back helping produce, and we found a golden drooling goose. And so we're going to milk it till every drop is dry. Brad Nord, big fan. Where's that old cunt Jackie? Thought he died. Nope, he's right there. There you go, Brad. Thank you for the $2. See that, Jackie? $2.
He paid $2 to say he thought I was dead.
That's
so glad
right.
I did this show. Well, at least I proved to him.
Well, you got
at the end of the show, but so far I'm not dead. I don't think. I don't know.
Jackie, that's not bad. That's not bad. Check out John's show.
Yeah, wait till
him on his own show.
Yeah. Dill Dog with another $20 for Jackie. And he loves it. You're killing.
So he's paying you $20 so he can go, yee.
Yeah, there. Another guy, Joseph Silva. Just what I need. A little BS show this morning as I sit here in the waiting area of MSK. Loved the show last night. Keep rocking, boys. Joseph Silva. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, sir. MSK. It's a good question.
MSK.
Oh, I thought that was an inside thing. The
Martin
radio
Luther King.
not Sloan Kettering.
Oh, yeah. Might be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Might be. Yeah.
We better talk fast.
Yeah. Yay, super chats work for me again. Jackie, love you since 1986. Thanks for all the laughs. What's your single most favorite strain ever? Talking weed.
Oh, that's got to be in college, lifting the Hammond B3 organ.
Fucker. Look at
We
this.
used to carry the Hammond B3 organ up 4 flights of stairs to play at the fraternity parties. You know what a Hammond B3 organ is? That's what Felix Cavalieri played in the Rascals and so many groups in the 60s and 70s. Plus, there was a Leslie cabinet. It was like moving a piano every gig.
Yeah.
My favorite strain of pot is the pot that I grow. You know, I'll tell you, not to get political, but the world is really going to shit.
Go ahead.
Because I have a pot garden, and every year for the last 25 years I grow pot. And this year, my plants are they're already like 12 or 13, not all, but a lot of them are 12 or 13 feet tall. Wow. And it's August now, but it wasn't even August a week ago. And my buddy came over to have a look at them. But usually, I don't know if you know about pot, but you have to sex them. You got to get rid of the male plants so the females can create THC. If the male plants are there, they knock them up and they use all their energy to make seeds. You don't want seeds, you get rid of the males. And it starts to happen in the middle of August. He came over last week or 2 weeks ago, and already the male plants are showing all their balls. They're already matured, which is just not right. And then I was swimming in the Long Island Sound the other day, and the snappers, the little baby bluefish, show up in the middle of August, and you catch them, and it's fun. And the snappers are already jumping. I'm telling the world is out of fucking whack. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the whole, like a month's shift of the summer. So something's wrong. I think Levy is fucking up the world. I don't know how you're doing.
I fucked up comedy,
But the answer to the question was I love my own pot because it's not strong. And I give it all away, and we have a great old time, you know.
Do you have a name for it? Is it
pot now? Because I went to a pulmonary guy, and he said you can't smoke pot anymore. So of course now it makes it so enticing, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As long as you know you're hurting yourself, you know.
What about edibles? Are you ever an edibles guy, or do those not work for you?
Yeah, until the girls got ugly. No, you know what I love? I've always been scared of edibles because, you know, in college in like 1967, 68, even with if you have the worst pot in the world and you cook with it, it becomes unbelievable. And we'd make pot brownies, and we'd eat a pot brownie and not get high. So we'd eat another one and not get high, not knowing that it takes an hour and a half. And after you have 3 or 4 pot brownies, and then when it kicks in, it's worse than acid. You're out of your mind. So I've been frightened to death. But now I've been buying this pot seltzer. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking great. It's called Cycling Frog is the name of the company.
Cycling Frog?
And the cans are like Red
Hold
Bull
my beer.
cans. And they come with 5 milligrams of THC. And it's like drinking seltzer, but it's so controlled because you know it's only 5 milligrams, so you can drink 2, you can drink 3, depending. And it's so refreshing. I mean, it's the greatest way to get stoned in the world. I got to tell them, I speak their praises all the time. They really should be giving me $1.50, not like you fucking cheap cocksucker. Cycling Frog. I just ordered blueberry and what's the other? I don't know. They got different flavors, and the shit's great. It's really great.
Shuli, you're too loud. You're too loud.
I'm too loud?
No, Shuli.
Something's happened to your microphone,
No,
Shuli.
he muted it.
No, he's not muted.
Oh.
You
I'll
might have
take
to
over.
go out and come back in.
Thank God we got rid of him. Mr. Spittle, $50. See that, Jackie? That's why you should come here. Jackie, you are a legend. Please set the drunk failure known as Stuttering John straight. All he does is trash you and talk.
You know, I know that there's writing down here, but I'm too vain to put on my glasses because I don't want to look that old. So you have to read these to me. I don't know who that person is.
Stuttering John. He's saying talking shit.
Should I know who that is?
It's some guy. I think he used to be on a show where other comedians would do everything.
I told Shuli I'd love to come on and talk with you, but there's no winning. Addressing him. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't had any contact in a long time, but all I hear is how horrible he is to me all the time. And I know he's just baiting me to try and get me to call in or something. I have no interest, and I told Shuli that. I'll talk about pot. I'll talk about my cock, which is pretty big. I'll talk about anything. I'll talk about Hemingway's next week at 8 o'clock. And where is it? Seaside Heights?
Seaside Heights, Wednesday at 8:30.
And, oh, you know what? Here's a great one. You know who Peter Bales is, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Peter Bales has been teaching comedy. He has a comedy class. You sign up and you take 8 weeks, one night a week for 8 weeks. And the 8th week, you do your 5 minutes that you learned. And he's training comics, people that just want to try it. And he's such a good guy. And he's so funny. Him and Rich Miller do this thing. And I always go to their little graduation ceremonies. And they're always packed because all the people that are in the class bring everybody that they know. So a guy that graduated from his class 20 years ago, him and a couple of his friends, he must be a rich kid, they bought a restaurant bar on Fire Island.
Wow.
And they hired me and Bales. We're working there August 21st.
Right.
He hired us to work at his restaurant so he could host the show.
Nice.
How is that? You take a few comedy classes and then buy yourself a restaurant so you can perform. I think that's, he might even be funny. I mean, Evan Brett is his name. So that's, in all these years, 45 years, I never worked on Fire Island.
No.
All I knew about Fire Island growing up is be careful there. Wear a frying pan on your ass. That's all I knew.
Yeah. I never tan my back when I go there.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore, I don't think.
No, you can't say it. Well, you never know. Yeah, you never know.
So it's okay.
Don't worry, Shuli's
still
not gone.
here.
Oh, since Shuli's gone, you ever hear of the Levy? The Levy verse. We can use a guy like you now, huh? You should do a show here, truthfully, because we have the audience that loves to see you.
They're great. It's great people too.
It's great people. Like Peter would do really good here with them too.
Hey, what about? I don't know how it works, the whole network thing, but could we put our show on your network?
Yeah, like
That's
you
what we're
should do
talking
it.
about.
Yeah, you want to do it live here, and then
He's back.
You can put it back on your other thing, and then we just send
what
people
I'm
to Levy
asking is,
verse.
can it simultaneously be on? It's on Tied In Media, which this guy started a media company, and we do the show there. We don't do it live. Of course we could, but we don't do it live. But if that's living on his network, could it also be posted on your network? I don't know how it works,
You should go live here, and then put it up on your thing because people love live.
I'll ask Peter about it because, and so we could do it anywhere, right? We wouldn't have to do it.
Right.
We wouldn't have to come to you.
No, we're all in different locations.
Yeah.
Shuli, where are you?
Yeah.
Israel?
Yeah. Well,
Mentally.
Little close. Little place they call Little Jerusalem, Huntsville, Alabama, to be exact.
Is that really where you are, Huntsville, Alabama?
I am.
Is that really where you are?
It is. Yeah.
I swear to you, and you'll think I'm full of shit. There's a Martling, Alabama. You got to Google it. Well, hold on. Come in. Who is it? Hold on. The maid wants to come in and rifle my wallet. Hold on.
Go for it. Did you read this one for Jackie?
No, I didn't get it.
All right. So we'll wait. We'll wait for him to come back.
I was trying to sign a contract with him at Levy verse.
Yeah, that's why I had to rush back. I was getting, they're like your blue chip prospects about to be swooped out from under you.
Is that Bob Levy's wheeling and dealing again with the
he should he should definitely do it. He
what a great that is the fastest hand job I think I've ever seen. That was just amazing.
Wouldn't you tell him to come back in 10 minutes?
10 minutes. I thought I'd come back next week.
Roddy Fingers says, just Jackie's laugh alone made me howl on many mornings, along with the jokes as well. What a legend. Have a great weekend, gentlemen. Thank you, Roddy.
Now look at that, Shuli. 1 out of 35 messages is positive. It's worth coming on. It really is worth coming on.
Look, another one. I still laugh at Jackie's eyes wide shut joke in his book that made Carson laugh. Love you, Jackie.
That is one of my proudest. That was the greatest story. You know, me and Nancy went out to Los Angeles for the premiere of the second season of what's the stupid show with the 4 girls?
Kardashian?
Sex in the City or Golden Girls?
Company.
That's how long ago.
Oh, wow.
Sex in the City. And afterwards we went to a Hollywood party, which was not, it's not something I'm familiar with. And, until you leave, I'm sure you guys know this too, being part of the Stern Show, until you leave town, you don't realize how huge the show was, how huge we all were. I'm in Bayville, so I'm walking around. These people have known me their whole lives. They're not like, oh, there's Jackie. And I went to this Hollywood party, and people were as excited to meet me as anybody else. And it's like a pinch me type thing, with and not the big stars, but the side characters from a lot of shows. And this guy, Tony DeSena, came up and told me that Carson show. Do you guys know the story he's talking about?
Yeah, I remember it. But you can tell if you want. Maybe people haven't heard it.
Carson fell off his chair. He said Carson fell right off his chair, which, I said, I can use that. Mark Twain said he could live on a compliment for 2 months. It's so true. You live from compliment to compliment. But that was a great night. And that's the night I met Mike Reese, who's been with The Simpsons for 35 years. And, you just make lifelong friendships with guys when guys are really funny. If you don't see them for 10 years, the minute you see them, you know how it is. It's instant. It's wonderful.
Yeah. There's more ass kissing here for you from fans, Jackie. So I'm going to try and get to as many of them as possible.
Don't listen. You do not have to sort through them. You can put all the crappy ones,
Okay, no problem.
I don't care.
I know you don't, buddy.
They're not mean here. They're not mean.
They're fine.
They joke. Some of what I mean. Some of these evil bastards, like Dill Dog, his sense of humor is a little warped.
Right, and that's Bob telling you that. So that'll give you an idea how warped he is.
You gotta put it in perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jackie, always loved you. It would be a hoot to have you on the Shuli Network full time. We will super chat the shit out of you. And let me tell you something.
I don't know what that means.
So a super chat is this. It's BGE Pros giving $50 saying Jackie to TSN. That's a super chat. And people can give you anywhere from $1 to $500. In super chats.
But that money goes to who? It goes to you.
Goes to the Jew. No, it goes at the end of the month. Everybody gets paid their cut of it because we get paid once a month from YouTube.
Yeah.
So every month you get last month's pay.
So,
right?
Shuli,
Yeah.
Do we get to see the books?
Oh yeah, you can see the books.
That's why I'm no longer with the Stern Show. I was like, you really think Mel's going to open his books to you? And I'm like, you mean open your books to me? Pay no attention to the guy behind the curtain. Fuck everyone.
Listen, I'll put it to you this way, Jack. You ain't gonna have to shut this
for free. I wouldn't care for free because if you got people listening, I mean, we got 5 viewers. If people are watching this, that's going to get more people to shows, and then I'm going to have to work more.
Yeah.
Levy, I don't know about you guys. Now, what about the other? You two guys go out too? Are you guys stand-up comics?
No.
They're not.
Why are you answering for them?
They're not.
Zen's obviously a longshoreman. I'm
asking a serious question. I don't know these guys.
Yeah.
No, Jackie, you've met me about 17 times.
Now, were you doing a podcast with TJ?
No, but you used to meet me every week at Miserable Men because we would come in at the end of Joke Hunt, and every week you go in and go, "Hi, I'm Jackie." I'm like,
"Oh, no, you mean Joke Hunt when we did it at Sirius?"
Yeah. We used to do a show.
You guys are performers. When you do a radio show for an hour, I'm not a human being for the next 20 minutes. You walk around in fog, so I apologize. But
that's okay, Jack.
I don't.
Yeah, you owe me an apology, Jackie. You owe me an apology because I was harassed while on Joke Hunt years ago. I remember you and Ian gracious enough to invite me on. It was a dream come true for an aspiring comic to be on Jackie Martling's Joke Hunt show. And what does this son of a bitch do? He moves his shorts and shows me his nuts while I'm on the air with him. Unbelievable.
You don't understand what an honor that is.
Yeah.
Stop it. You think everybody's seen them?
Right. Only 2,000 people have seen
my
that.
documentary has seen them.
I know Richard Simmons saw him, so God rest his soul. And
what a great character he was.
What do you think killed him?
That's a good question.
I'm sure it wasn't what you think it was, because I'm sure at this point he could have handled anything. But I would imagine his heart gave out. I thought he was, thoroughly a really decent character. I don't think he went behind closed doors and chopped up children. I mean, he was a really, really good guy. If you read about him, he was a big fat kid that got teased and got tortured. And he was just fun. He was never not a good time, So
Sorry, he said big fat kid who got tortured.
What was that?
I thought I'd give Zen a close up. That's every time somebody says big fat kid tortured, he gets sad. I don't know why. This is another fan. He's in a wheelchair, so don't judge him. This is J Dead. J Dead says this is too much comic genius for one stream. I gotta ask Jackie, what's worse? All right. I love you, J Dead. I'm not gonna get into that.
What did it say? Why would you take it away?
Yeah, he needs
trust me. Trust me.
Okay.
You don't want to get involved.
He's not in a wheelchair because he can't walk. He's in a wheelchair because his cock is so big he can't walk around with it.
Join the club.
Jackie, can you tell the story of offending Patty Davis Reagan? One of my favorites. Also, definitely do a show on TSN. Shuli will only take 90%. See, there you go.
Yeah. Good deal.
He's a good guy. He knows how it works. That you heard just fine without headphones, huh? That you heard just fine.
The Patty Davis story is in my book. Is called The Joke Man Bow to Stern. And you know what? I'll come on. I'll do a show on your show. I was thinking, I got all these different things I want to do, but I don't do any of them because I'm lazy. I wish I had a little. I don't have much money, but I have enough. If I just had a little bit less and I was forced to work. David Selznick was a huge producer to make millions of dollars, and he was always broke. And he told all his sons, he said, spend every penny you got. Because if you spend your money, you'll be forced to go make more. And he would spend all his money, then he had to go make more. And it makes all the sense in the world. Because when you're under pressure and you're backed into a corner, that's when you do your finest stuff. Exactly. I would come on and do a show. Not everybody, but a real lot of people really enjoyed my autobiography. And not because it's not that much about me. It's a lot about the show.
Right.
And, it's packed with horseshit, but it's all true stories. And they're funny. but I have a whole second book. You know, I had to choose the stories that were going to go in the book. So I have a whole second book that's sitting there, and I'm too lazy to publish it. I'd come on your show and just a chapter at a time, I would read my second book and let people call in and comment and break balls, but record it, and then somebody could scribe it. You know, I think do stuff like that.
Yeah, you can. And I think you can even simplify it, Jack. And I think it'll help you come up with shit for maybe even a third book. But all you got to do is you come up here, we'll hit go live. You sit there. A bunch of people will send you super chats with questions about times from the show. You answer those for about 20, 30 minutes. And then you can either read some from the book, do some jokes for them. You do an hour show, hour and a half, and you're out. I mean, look, they're ready. Look, it's $100, Jackie. We love you, Jackie.
People come up to me all the time and they'll ask something, you know, was that Patty Davis thing real? And and was Pat Cooper really angry and stuff like that? And a lot of times they'll preface it or postscript it with, I know you're probably really sick of talking about it. And the truth of it is, and I'm not making this up, I never get tired of talking about it because it was all true stuff that happened. You know, I get people that come on when I'm on a podcast. When are you going to stop talking about the Howard Stern show? It's like, fuck you. When was Groucho going to stop talking about the Marx Brothers? I mean, that's what you did. That's how I'm known. And there was so much to do. And just the fact that nobody has any idea the amount of input I had. You know, a lot of times it sounds pompous when you're talking about it, but I'm telling the truth. If I was making shit up, I'd feel like an idiot. But I never get tired of, you know, when people say, oh, man, thanks for making me laugh for 20 years. I know you're sick of hearing about that. If I ever get sick of hearing that, put a fucking gun to my head. Are you kidding? That's music. You dance to that shit. You guys know that. Yeah. You dance to that. You know, right?
No, you're 100% right. People go, I don't want to bother you. And I go, bother me. What do you think I'm doing? Ask away. I love talking about those times.
Absolutely. You know, I show my autobiography, not my, what's it called? Not my podcast. Come on, there's another word. The documentary.
Balls.
I show the documentary.
My memory medicine.
And we do I show the documentary, and then we do a Q&A afterwards. And the documentary is like 75 minutes, and the Q&A goes like an hour and a half. And people like, don't you get tired? Are you kidding? I'd still be standing there if people didn't get in their cars and leave. You know, it's interesting shit because the devil's in the fucking details.
Yes.
And it really is, you know, when you're live and you got people's attention, you can go down all those roads. You know, when you're typing a story, like you really can't go off into Huntsville, Alabama because nobody will come back, you know.
How dare you? How dare you? Husey Entertainment. I got a joke for Jackie. Knock, knock, Jackie.
Who's there?
It's Gina Levy at my place tonight. Hi, Bob.
What's up?
This guy bangs Bob's wife, and he brags about it to Bob. So he's not a good guy. But you know who is a good guy? Dill Dog. He's gifting 10 network memberships, and we do a little fun thing here when people give 10 or more.
Yeah, Jackie, put your hands like this.
This, right? And then when the drops start, we go back and forth. Back and forth.
And then you go like this.
What is that?
Ice wall.
You're driving a car.
Is that the Trump dance?
No, this is sucking two dicks.
This is how I got the job here.
Yeah, this is the last stage of getting hired at TSN. If you're willing to do this for money, you're welcome here.
Now you're telling me, in all seriousness, I could really make some money doing this with you?
Of course you can. Absolutely.
Jackie, what they do, YouTube takes 30% off the top. That's the
listen. Do you guys do those Cameo.com things?
No.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I used to.
And Cameo.com, you can charge whatever you want. I charge $75, and I love doing them because people say, "Oh, would you send a Cameo to my Uncle Charlie? He's Jewish and he loves anal sex and he hates the New York Yankees." So I could just go down the list and hit every bullet point.
Yes. And
I got like 155-star reviews, and it's wonderful. And they get 25%. Okay, so if you charge $100, they take $25. If
Right.
they do it off the website, if you do it off of Apple takes 30% right off the top.
Yeah.
And then you only get 75%. So if somebody does $100 thing, you get like $4 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fighting with Apple right now because they take such a huge chunk of everything. Yeah. But the bottom line is, if people weren't doing that, we wouldn't be making money. So I just shut up and do them,
Mm-hmm.
But I love doing those things. They're great.
Let's go here.
I had a guy he got a cameo for his family to play at his wake.
Wow, that's cool.
I don't know if he made it up, but it was really funny. Hey, I'm Eddie, poor Eddie's dead, and who's going to miss him? His cock was so small, The guy loved it. I think he tipped me $50. I'm like, what?
But I heard Eddie gave you 1 star.
Yeah. I hope he dies.
It's crazy. Just the other day, I watched video of Axl Rose singing November Rain at a piano for Lisa Marie Presley's funeral. And it was so moving and so touching. And then you have the opposite end of the spectrum, which is Jackie roasting a guy who's dead, laid in a fucking coffin.
Hey, a guy just sent me Harvey Leeds. This guy, he's a legend.
Yeah, I know Harvey.
Well, Harvey just sent me 2 songs. I didn't listen to him yet because I was down having breakfast. Hold on. Wait to hear these. Where is he? I like it in the pooper. This is a 1940s song with a band behind the girl singing I Like It in the Pooper. And another one is a Frank Sinatra imitator. These are with whole orchestration singing I Need 2 Blowjobs Every Day. And
See?
It's by Frank Sinatra. But they're hysterical because it's like big bands sound great. It's like people doing song parodies nowadays, only this is the old days, but with great music. Harvey Leeds is one of the all-time great characters. How well do you know him?
Oh, I know them both. The brothers, the Leeds family.
Harvey traveled with Ozzy Osbourne, and when Ozzy felt like dressing up like a woman, Harvey had to get dressed up like a woman with Ozzy and go out on the town. His stories are amazing. He's just the greatest character. So
yeah, him and Steve are sweethearts. Yeah, him and Steve.
Do you not want to pay for drinks?
Yeah, he just wanted free drinks. Peter, Jackie, we would support your show 100%. This guy's been a member for 14 months, Jackie. All right. These people are loyal. Hey, Christian from the Blackcast. You just did WATB with Christian the other day. Jackie is a treasure, and we absolutely need more.
Of him. I think of him.
Oh, of him. Okay. Congrats on having the Joke Man on for his second best interview he's done this week.
I just did Christian's podcast.
Yep.
His Blackcast, or whatever the fuck it is. He's such a great guy. When I was out in LA a couple of times, I hung out with him and Liam and his gang. We went to the smokehouse. I went to a couple different places. LA is so great. You go out there, and in 2 days, you wind up doing 20 interesting things. I come home, and I feel like I've been out there a month, Yeah. It's so fun. And I stayed with a guy named Lee Newman. My friend Lee Newman's grandfather was Jimmy McHugh. And the guy wrote Sunny Side of the Street, and I'm in the Mood for Love, and I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Baby. So the whole family has been eating and living off Jimmy McHugh's catalog for decades. And he's just the greatest character. And I stay with him, and he knows everybody in the world. And it's just, I really feel like part of Hollywood when I'm out there, which I'm not. I went to George Lopez's golf tournament, his kidney failure tournament or whatever. And you don't know who you're gonna meet. A guy comes up, big tall guy comes up and gives me a hug. He says, "Oh, Jackie, I'm a big fan. Nice to meet you. Hi, who are you? Oh, I'm the bass player in Kiss." I'm like, okay, I wouldn't fucking. Maybe he was the drummer. I said, "Sorry, I didn't recognize you without my makeup on."
Suzanne's Unfound Clamp. Thanks for coming, Jackie. I love you and miss you. All the best to you. God bless Timmy. Look at that. See?
Wait a minute. Was that a woman?
That was a picture of Underdog. Suzanne, remember Suzanne Muldowney, Underdog lady?
No, I don't remember Underdog. Because I haven't seen one message from you. Got no women listening to this show. We got to get some women listening.
We actually do. Here's my mom. Number one. Can I get a Noga from Jackie? Where's Bob tonight?
I'm in Madawan.
Yeah. This guy would like you to yell Noga, which is my mom's name.
What? That's her name?
That's her name.
What's her real name? What's her name?
Her real name's Noga, and she's dead, so she won't sue you. So don't worry about it.
Noga. What's that Jewish for? I have an ugly child.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Noga. How can you fit that on a tombstone, Noga?
No, it's pretty easy actually if you lay it sideways. Jack,
in South Carolina, when they seen it on the tombstone, somebody goes, "I think they spelled that wrong."
That's so sad. That's so sad.
Torito, Jack, the people here love Shuli and Mike Morse. Bobby, not so much. If you came aboard, you'd make money just by being you. It's not negative unless you're SJ. There you go, Torito, man of the people.
Everybody loves Levy. You know, Levy, you do give me credit for your nickname, or do you not use that nickname anymore?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, thank you. That helped. Like, it was like the first time I went up, I did really good, and the second time was when he gave me the nickname because nothing was working. It was too dirty. People hated me. I didn't know how to switch it around. And Jackie came up shocked, and he goes, "How about a hand for the Reverend?"
I mean, he wasn't dirty. He was like, you know, you couldn't have said fuck, shit, piss, and cunt more times in 3 words. And it was just, you know, that was one of my original, it wasn't a scam really, but I was doing the Stern Show one day a week. You know, I sent them my records. And after I sat in with them, they said, "Man, you're so much fun. Come back next week." So I was going in one day a week for free. And then Nancy negotiated with Howard that he would give me $25 a week to park my car because it was costing me a fortune to do the show, drive in and park across the street from Rockefeller Center. And so Howard was supposed to give me $25 a week. I don't think he ever did, or else he said, "I only got a 20. Will you take 20? You know, there was, you know, chasing a Jew for money. It never gets funnier than that. So I said, "What am I going to do?" I got the bright idea. I'm there on Tuesdays. And I said to Mark from Rascals, "Hey, I'm on the Stern Show, the Howard Stern Show, every Tuesday, and it's so popular now. There's 1 million people listening. Why don't you let me do a show? We'll do an open mic night on Tuesdays, and I can announce it on the Howard Stern Show to millions of people, and then you can give me a couple $100 for doing the show. It doesn't even matter. Just for the advertising, it's worth it." Mark, you know, was a good bit. He said, "That sounds great." And then every Tuesday, there were about 12 or 15 different people, and a different 6 or 7 or 8 people would show up every week. And it was always fun. And I videotaped somewhere, Levy. I have a 3/4-inch video of you being filthy somewhere. I got to find it. Yeah, and then this guy, Bob Levy, went up, and he was just so disgusting. And it was just so funny to just, you know, off the cuff say, "That's Reverend Bob Levy." And then 40 years later, somebody says, "Oh, I'm working with Reverend Bob Levy." I said, Jesus Christ, that name stuck. That's a funny name for a comedian, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
This guy's watching us from across the pond. This is Cunt Chops 23. Mr. Joke Man, an honor, a true comedic icon. Love from Brixton, UK. And keep on laughing, you crazy fuck. You laughed at all the most inappropriate bits.
That may be the most interesting thing about that whole stupid Howard Stern show is, I don't know if you know the genesis, but Fred Norris would yell stuff like he had Tourette's. He'd yell. There was a girl, there was a challenge girl. You can't say a retard. We had a challenge girl who used to come on the show, and she'd go, "Jackie Marlowe, Jackie Marlowe." So Fred adopted that. So once in a while, out of the clear blue sky, Fred would go, "Jackie Marlowe, Jackie." And then when I was trying to get George Clooney on the show, Fred would go, "George Clooney, George," just being Fred, being crazy. And then at some point, he started going, "Yeah." He'd go, "Yeah." Finally, I said, "Fred, what is that fucking noise you're making?" He goes, "That's you, man." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "That's you. When you're on stage, you make that noise." And I said, "You're crazy." And then I did a show, I remember so clear, I did a show at Jimmy's Comedy Alley. And I guess I do a joke, and then while they're laughing, hopefully you pace a few steps for your timing. And I guess I tell a joke, and while they're laughing, I would off mic like, And I'm driving home and I'm listening to the tape of my show, but I never heard that. It's like if you say the word "come on" all the time. Come on,
Right.
come on. You don't hear yourself saying it, and all of a sudden I hear myself go "yee," and I'm listening, and I do it a million times. So like a total moron, I brought in the cassette, and I said, "Fred, I can't believe it. Here it is, right here. And I really do make that noise." And Fred took that and made a cart out of, and then he proceeded to make carts out of every noise and every guffaw and every laugh. And then he started playing that at inappropriate times. And people hated me for that. And people gave me total credit for that. When in reality, Fred should have got all the blame and all the credit, which was so ridiculously backwards. People say, "Oh, Jackie, you were so funny laughing about the Cub Scouts getting hit by a bus." I'm like, okay, thank you. You get sick of trying to explain it, Oh, God. And it got to the point where the minute Robin started saying, there was a horrible accident, you just wait. You just wait to hear it. You guys know what I'm talking about.
There was a show where some girl got raped, and then he's like, and Robin's going into it, and she says, as soon as she says rape, you hear ha ha ha. It's like always the best.
Of course, at discomfort, everybody laughs at that. It's just so fucking wrong, so wrong. But
the best is Howard under his laughter scolding you. Go, come on, Jack, come on, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Jackie was the heart of the Howard Stern show. He told jokes, wrote jokes, and often was the butt of the joke. Thank you for all the good times. Love Jackie. F Jackie. Look at that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
J-Dad, I could listen to you guys. I could listen to you guys all. Jackie, you got to come back more often. Love you. Hashtag I'm a Shuli guy, says
as soon
J-Dad.
as Shuli opens the old checkbook, I'll be back.
So it was nice seeing you.
Good luck with everything.
I really want to talk to you about doing something,
Let's do it. Let's at least give it a run.
If I tried to do the thing with the old stories, or tried with me and Peter doing our stand-up memories, and if it doesn't work, who cares? Who's gonna know? And if we made a few dollars, and who knows? We could be huge. We could be monstrous. We could be the next Joe Piscopo.
He's on next week.
Bigger than U.S. Steel.
Jack, you used to do a podcast with my buddy John Peasy.
Oh yeah.
You remember John Peasy?
John Peasy, Peasy.
Johnny Peasy is the guy from Boston. John Peasy is a dear friend. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. When I started, he started coming around, and we became good friends back then.
He works harder than any 10 people in the world.
Yep.
He does like 3 gigs a day, and he runs that, where he rents out clowns and rents out bounce house. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he's just such a delightful guy. And
yeah,
if there's anybody that should be rich by now, and maybe he is, but he should be,
he's doing
he's
good.
So funny, and everybody loves the guy,
Yeah, if you haven't heard from him for a while, he's rich. He's stayed away from you. Love Jackie. Wasn't the same after he left. Every time I hear the Cold Gold song, it makes me smile. Agreed, beloved Cheddar.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. I get
this
such
is my point, Jack.
Emails. I get emails like, "The Stern Show got good after you left. Thank God you left. The Stern Show was much better after you and Artie were out of there. Artie was so much better. Artie and you stunk. Then the show got good. But then you turn around and, you get emails like, I'm from Toronto and I didn't start listening. This is the single best compliment I ever got. The guy said, it was around the end of 2000s, like 2008, 2010. The guy said, Jackie, I'm from Toronto. I got turned on to the Stern Show on Sirius, and it immediately became my favorite show in the world. But then I started listening to the old shows and hearing you on the show in the 90s. And he said it was like having a new favorite band and then finding out that their earlier albums were much better.
Yeah.
How great a compliment is that? Oh man, I was like, I wrote that myself. As actually, no. I told the guy I'm going to come to Toronto just to suck your cock. I mean, that's a really nice compliment, you know.
Oh, of course he knew that. Why do you think he gave you the compliment in the first place? Guy wanted a blowjob from you.
I'll come there, but if you want, I'll send you a plane ticket. I don't care. Whatever you need.
Jeremy Clark, member for a year. Thank you, Jeremy. This is one of the best episodes ever. Jackie has been making me laugh since I was a teenager. I'd watch his show on TSN religiously. There you go. Look.
It got me. You know, the weirdest one I ever got, somebody was doing a charity show at the power plant when Tony Bon Jovi was taken back. Tony Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi's uncle, started the power plant recording studio in New York, and then he lost it, but then he got it back, and they had a big party. The guy came up to me and said, I'm the president of, is it Steve Madden Shoes? Is that the right word?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they're still around. He said, I'm the president of Steve Madden Shoes. And he said, your laugh is the first thing, the first noise in my memory bank. He said, because I was a little baby in the back seat, and my parents would listen to the Stern Show. And of course, I didn't have any idea what was going on. But that noise of your laugh stuck in my head. And over the years, and I'm like, you know, that's next to getting him in the womb, you know. He's fucking hearing my laugh and he doesn't even understand the words. So it's like, that's fucking incredible, you know.
Is Tony still alive?
Huh?
Is Tony Bon Jovi still alive? I know he lived in Wildwood.
I'm sure he is. He's been trying to do a Christmas animated show for about 30 years. He's just, you know who he's good friends with? You know, the legendary Wid?
Wid, yeah.
Yeah. What a pair.
I went to his house with him.
Great. You know, I've known the Wid since '79, you know.
Yeah, the Wid is amazing.
Way back. And that's another funny, crazy maniac. I just love that guy, man.
He's got a lot of energy for an older guy. I mean, now he's older and he fucking goes crazy up there.
For an older guy, probably 10 years younger than me.
It's always nice when Jackie and Bob get together and they get to play. Did he die?
Yeah, you know, I hate the fact that, you know, I've probably been in a million Deadpools. I won the first Deadpool when we decided to do that in the Stern Show. That was just, I said, you know, this is way too dark. Way too dark. But what the fuck, we did it. And I think we pulled names out of a hat, right? And it was me and Fred and Robin and Howard and probably Gary. And I think we got 2 names each. And we all had to put in $100. And I remember so clearly because Fred was a lock.
Right.
Fred had the Pope and Hope.
Wow.
Pope. So we're like, why don't we just give him the money now? And I had Alan Funt. And
wow.
Alan Funt died, and I got all the money. And everybody said, all right, let's play it again. I said, no! What are we going to do? Play until everybody wins? I won. The game's over. Fuck you.
Done.
But it was great. Poor Alan Funt.
Arthur Jackson, Jackie, lifelong fan. Can't wait to super chat you on your Shuli Network show. Will the Jackie Puppet make an appearance? And will you broadcast from the Cardoza Hotel? R.I.P. Timmy.
Now, see, that's another one of Howard's myths that will never go away, which I don't care about. I do not know where that puppet is. That whole story is just so. I'm sure
it's that serious.
Is it that serious?
That I remember for years up on that shelf where they had the attachments for the Sybian and the alcohol.
Was
to
the right of Howard
puppet.
where the bar was. Yeah.
The Jackie Puppet was there. You know he's whole mind through all of it.
Do you remember the story of when it got stolen?
Oh, the Gary Puppet. I remember.
No. This is such a great Howard story, and it's out of school. I'm sure it's in my book, but, you know, people skim through it. They don't realize. At some point, I think a listener must have called the Stern Show when he was at Sirius after he started. And somebody said, whatever happened to the Jackie Puppet? And Howard said, I don't know. You know, he wanted nothing to do with that thing ever, you know. And all Gary, Fred, they were like, I don't know. And then somebody chimed in, you know, when we were moving from K-Rock to Sirius, I think it was in a closet. And, you know, Jackie, I went up to Sirius. I did a show, a pilot show for Free FM. That was K-Rock for 10 minutes. And I think I did Diamond Day Diamond David Lee Roth, whatever his name is, and I did a couple shows with Penn Jillette.
Right.
And so I was up at Sirius a couple times. I used to go up with Phil. Phil Iazetta had a show called Not Necessarily Funny or something like that, and people would call him requests.
I never
Well, he
doing
said
that
requests
show
and songs, they'd request like Red Fox, and I always had a story about whatever comedian. So it was always fun. So I was up there a bunch of times, and somebody said, I bet Jackie went in that. So it generated to Jackie stole the Jackie puppet, okay? And this was all over the place for a while. I finally called up that guy, Steve
Langford. Yep.
I said, all right, man, you got me. You called me. I got and I printed out the puppet in regular size on my color printer and mounted it on a piece of cardboard and then held it so it looked like I was holding the fucking puppet. And I held up a copy of the New York Post from that day, like a fucking kidnapping, and took a picture of me with the Jackie puppet and the Post. And I said, come on and get it. And they were coming out with the Howard 100 News van to get the thing.
Yep.
I couldn't do that. I called up and said, Langford, of course I don't have the fucking puppet, you asshole. I could have got out. What are you, crazy? And I said, but I got a great idea. You know that moron that comes on the show used to come on every couple of years with a lie detector?
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Why don't you have that moron come on the show and ask everybody on the show if they know where the Jackie puppet is. I'll be the first one in line. And he can ask me, where's the Jackie puppet? And he can ask everybody. And Langford said, you know what? That is such a great idea. That is such a great bit. Howard is going to love that. I'll let you know. And I never heard from him again. He told Howard the idea, and the next morning Howard showed up at Sirius with the fucking puppet. He had the puppet the whole fucking time. How great is that? He wanted that thing out of his fucking life, and he knew, he just had it the whole time. The whole time this is going on, he had the fucking puppet. That cocksucker. Oh man, but it's kind of funny too. So
Listen, I got a bunch more chats here for you, so I'm going to try and jam through these before we get you out of here. All right. We need Strudel Wagon, $10. We need Jackie's Joke Huntsville on TSN. This is a historic BS show with some of the Howard Stern greats all in one place. Thanks for all the laughs, boys. Jackie, loved your book and documentary.
That TSN sounds so official, man. Congratulations.
I know. It's
CNN,
ridiculous.
MSNBC, TSN, you're right up there,
It's so stupid.
Well, thank you, whoever wrote that. Thank you.
Dr. Peter Venkman dropping a dime for 10 membership. Come on.
I swallow cum.
Thank me.
See, we got you. Yeah. I'm from Toronto, Jackie. Wink, wink. And that's a woman, Jilly Bean. She's been around for a minute. She knows us. We know her.
I love Toronto. That is a great city. I was fooling around with an 18-year-old actress who was going around the country. She was in a Neil Simon play called I Ought to Be in Pictures. And part of her deal with Neil Simon was she got to fly somebody in to the city where they were a couple times a month, because she was young. And Neil Simon flew me to Toronto and paid for me to go to Philadelphia to go watch the show and bang this beautiful girl. And she was working in Toronto at the Royal Alex Theatre, which is one of these old, beautiful, ornate theaters. And it was just such a great, great time. And, as a tribute to my fellow comedians out there, after her show in Philadelphia, I'd gone to visit her in a couple cities. And she had done with her show in Philadelphia. And she said, let's go back to my hotel room and get it on. And I said, no, I want to go to the what was it called? The Comedy Factory outlet and fuck around with the other comics. So I blew off banging a beautiful 18-year-old girl to go tell dick jokes with the legendary Wid and who were some of the people over there? That was way back there, Who was the guy? Clyde, Cliff, Claude. Philadelphia was the hottest place, man. I was headlining there in 1979. There was like 5 comedy clubs in that little. There was the Comedy Factory outlet and the Comedy Works and Andy Scarpatti's shithole gigs.
Yeah.
Bananas and Oh God, those were great days. Great days. Sorry, I got on a roll here.
All good. Love you, Jackie. PWO. Commission 10 months. Thank you. Yo, Jackie, can I get
Wait a minute?
what's
What is PWO?
Potato World Order.
Potato World Order? It's a bit of a long story, but he's a huge fan of yours. A guy by the name of Cardiff Electric.
Yeah,
I think
he's a huge man too. He's a huge everything.
Yeah, he did a interview with you a while back. So he wants. Can I? This guy wants a. Can I get a "What's up, T-head, Florida neck"?
No.
All right. There you go. The ladies are here. Hi, Jackie. This is Jules, another lovely young lady that listens.
Hello, Jules. I have to ask you, have you always been a woman?
You literally have to ask that these days.
No, Jules, thank you. That's very sweet of you. It's nice to see women alive and kicking here on the TSN.
I'd like to apologize to my wife, Nancy, about the Jessica Hahn incident. Please don't make a mockery of this, says Dave.
Well, it was just a matter of time before that happened. You know, Nancy lives 2 doors from me, and she's getting remarried in September, and her fiance is just the greatest guy in the world. And Shuli, you'll be glad to know that he is of your persuasion. He is a Yid.
Sure.
And just the greatest character, and she's still one of my very best friends, and nobody believes that. People say, your ex-wife is your friend? That's weird. I don't think that's weird at all. You know, if you're with somebody for 20, you know, the secret is, I don't know about you guys, but before Nancy and I got married, we worked together for 5 years, and we were friends for 10 years. You know, so we were old pals, and then we're just so close hanging out and working together, like, well, we might as well seal the deal, you know?
Right.
But she's just one of the all-time great people. She just, people, oh, she took half your money. She didn't take half my money. She took the half that she earned. Without her, I couldn't have made any money. You know, somebody's got to steer the ship while you're writing the map. You know, so that's enough of that. But I do apologize to her. You know, that whole thing, it's like it happened yesterday. It was so memorable because the reason it was so memorable is, you know, that crowd was so loud at that rally that it was leaking through onto John DeBella's microphone because WMMR was right there. And he's on the air, and in the background, you can hear people chanting. It doesn't get any better than that. You know, fantastic.
Unbelievable. Jackie, hold on to this compliment for 2 months. You were great on Stern and superb in person. Keep it up. Mike G. There you go.
That's very, very, you know what? I'm so glad I was not going to do this because I thought you wouldn't be able to hear me without the little headphones and the microphone.
No.
But God, this is easy. You can do this from anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what little effort people put into shows and make money doing it. It's unbelievable.
I go on with people and they're like this in their bedroom, and I'm like, you know, put a little effort. You know, when I do these things in my office. You know, I do it so all the crap is in the background, so at least it looks interesting. You know, not so much now here at the Four Seasons Hotel.
Oh, listen, believe it or not, some people have a show and they don't even put the right background on. They use the background of another show they do.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's a new thing. It's getting really big and that stuff. It's called the verse. The Levy.
Yeah, do you know who Brandon Walsh is? Brendan Walsh?
Yeah, the guy.
He does crazy, wacky shit in the background of his show, but he's a really great guy. You know, a lot of these people, I don't know who anybody is. I don't pay any attention. And somebody wrote to me and said, hey, Bert Kreischer was talking about you on his podcast. So I don't know who that is. So I wrote on his website, I said, this is Jackie Martling. I'd love to do your podcast because people tell me how great you are. So I flew out to California for a couple of reasons, but one of them was, and I sat with that guy and we did 2 hours.
Yeah.
And he was such a huge Stern fan, but I guess he's a monstrous comedian. I didn't know anything about him. But when he was 10 years old, him and his brother used to lock themselves in their bedroom in Philadelphia and call 922 wine. Okay, so that's the kind of lineage, that's way too long. I really got to fucking pack it up and sit in a chair and put a blanket on me and look at the ocean and stop this horse shit.
Morning, Jackie. Just wanted to say hi, and you're the fucking king. That's from Hellraiser 69. $5.
I can't. Now, Shuli, tell the truth. Are there like
Yeah.
50 negative things, and you're just picking one out of 50 to find the good ones here?
No, they're not really negative. They're just shit. There's just questions about stuff that I don't know that you want to get into. But they're not really negative. Everybody is loving having you on, and they love you.
Because what you showed me so far, I'm fucking thrilled at what I've seen so far.
All right, let's take the wind out of them. Put up the ones that you're not putting.
I already texted Jules up in Toronto. I'm leaving there right after the show tonight. I'm going up there.
Let's see here. Jackie's uncomfortableness during the Rainbow Room show is always one of the best Stern shows ever. Love you, joke man. That's Red Fugly.
That first of all, that's a misinterpretation. I wasn't uncomfortable. I just was not going to rat out on Fred. Maybe I did come across as uncomfortable, but Fred was my friend, and I wasn't going to sit there and share his dirty laundry with the Stern show. He was my pal, and I had his back, and that was something that people couldn't comprehend, going against the Meister, the King Meister, Howard, going against him and not spilling all the beans on your friends. It was like, fuck you, that's not how we play where I'm from. There was no boys' room. Whether you're a bunch of friends and you're telling shit and talking about your wives or your girlfriends, you didn't go back and tell those stories out of school. You just didn't. Not where I come from, not where I came from. And, come on, tell us what happened. Tell us what happened. I'm like, no. How about no?
Well, do you think because of Howard at that time, anything was fair game, anything and everything, his in-laws, his family, everything, right? So now something's happening in somebody's personal life, and from Howard's point of view, he's probably like, what the fuck, man? I talk about everything. How are you not going to talk about this? And it must have drove him crazy. But I understand both sides of that argument,
Right. And of course, because he got the twist, he got the color, everything the way he wanted. It's so funny because all he talked about was how abused he was as a child. Mm-hmm. I mean, his father said, shut up and sit down. And he's played that clip unbelievably billions of times. That was his father, who owned a recording studio in Manhattan, who took his whole family in to see the recording studio and show him what he did for a living. And at one point, his father said that to him. And he's talking about how he was tortured as a child. And me and Fred are sitting there. And I'm saying, Fred, I used to get beat with a belt. And Fred said, yeah, my father used to beat me. And then my mother got rid of him. And then my stepfather used to beat me. And meanwhile, his father told him to shut up. Oh, my childhood, I was tortured, But that was his genius. He could make a mountain out of a fucking molehill. That was his genius. But it was such horseshit,
Do you ever listen anymore, Jack?
I never have. I never listened when I was on. I never listened when we were on break or on vacation. I just didn't. And people say, why didn't you listen? Well, number one, if I listened, especially after I left the show, or they kicked me out, however you want to look at it. If I listened and it wasn't funny, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. I should be there. Or if it was funny, I would feel bad. So there's no upside to listening. Right. And the truth is that, I'm not a guy that turned on the radio and did that. Before I was on the Stern show, I never, unless I was listening to oldies, I was an old guy. By the time I was on the Stern show, I was fucking, 35 years old or something like that. So I listened to CBS FM and listened to oldies and listened to tapes of me doing comedy so I could memorize the jokes. So I didn't know from radio. I just stumbled into that fucking job. So, well, what about Hymas? What about how? I don't know who these fucking guys. It's really weird. In all those years, in all those decades, I was never in the same room at the same time as Don Hymas. I never, ever met that guy. How weird is that? You'd think you would come in contact with this guy, I mean, he knew who I was enough to insult me,
Right.
The little fat guy that's not very funny. That little fat guy that's not very funny.
Here's Cardiff Electric. Hi, Jackie the Jokester. Big fan. He's a huge fan of yours. We told you.
Potato.
That's the potato, Cardiff. Okay, here we go.
Did you ever hear that joke? Did you ever hear that joke with two sports guys, and the first guy says, "Are you a Giant fan?" And the other guy says, "No, I'm a medium-sized air conditioner." That's just such a great joke. That's so stupid.
My favorite one of yours, I forget which album it's on, but it's the black guy walks into the bar with the parrot on his shoulder.
Oh, that's fucking horrible. You know, there's so many versions that's just so great. You know, that was one of Gilbert's. That was one of Gilbert's favorites. You know.
Speaking of Gilbert, here's a question for me as a fan. So, guy like Gilbert or Richard Simmons, for example, or Tiny, were there any guests that would come in where you were like, okay, I don't need to be like, I'm going to watch this action. I don't need to be as hands-on as I would be with a different interview. Like, it's not like put your feet up, but it's almost like a cruise control type.
You got it absolutely backwards.
Okay.
You
It makes it better.
Howard had to keep up with them or try and keep up with them, or at least have something to feed them or to a lot of the stuff I did for Howard was to help him ignite what was going on. That's what was so subtle about it. You know, like a different pathway or this or that. But yeah, nothing was more funny than Gilbert. Like I would sometimes write a note and walk over and put it in front of Gilbert, and nothing was more exciting than having Gilbert do one of your jokes, you know.
Yeah.
You know, not to go off topic, but when they roasted Hugh Hefner at the Friars at the Sheraton or wherever it was, that was the famous night that Gilbert told the Aristocrats because he did a joke about the Empire State Building getting hit by a plane and everybody, ooh, too soon. So Gilbert launched into the Aristocrats, and that's his version of the Aristocrats that's on the Aristocrats movie. Well, that roast was supposed to have been a month earlier. It was like the week after 9/11, and they couldn't do it. So either a month or two later, they decide they're going to do this roast, and people were so freaked out. I don't know if you guys remember. There's so many celebrities in California that wouldn't fly. They wouldn't get on a plane and come to New York. So they needed to fill the dais. So I got invited to be on the dais. I didn't get to talk, but I got to sit on the dais because they needed to fill it up. And on my way in, I said, you know what? I'm going to write some jokes. I'm not included. So I wrote a bunch of jokes. And in the green room before the show, I said, hey, not for nothing, you guys, I got a bunch of pretty decent jokes here. And Gilbert said, oh, let me see them. And he did 4 of my jokes as part of his bit before he did the Aristocrats. And one of the jokes was very funny, but it was clean enough. And they used it for the Comedy Central promo for the roast because it aired on Comedy Central. The roast was, Hugh Hefner is so old that his first condom was made out of bark.
I remember that joke.
Perfect. And he used like 4 of the jokes, you know, it wasn't supposed to be called Playboy. The original name was Town and Cunt. It's fucking great. So and Gilbert is, was just I did his podcast 3 or 4 times, and we would just howl for an hour. And then one time, me and Billy did it together, and it was like,
that's one of my favorite episodes. Yeah, I remember that episode. You and Billy on Gilbert's Colossal podcast. It's you guys and Jay Thomas on there are my favorites. That Gilbert.
Yeah, Jay was a great character too. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the picture? Did I ever send you the picture?
Yes. It's you guys. It's you, Jay Thomas, Nick DiPaolo, Jenny. Is Jenny in there? Richard Jenny? No.
Nick DiPaolo, Bobby Slayton.
Bobby
Woody
Slayton.
Allen, Jay Thomas, and me. And the funny thing about the picture is it was taken by Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, jeez.
It's just fucking frightening.
It's a good omen. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The Duke says, Dad and I love listening to your stand-up on a long drive. Love you, Jackie. Member for 10 months. The Duke.
Listen. If you like listening to the stand-up, I don't know if anybody, I tell people about this and they never chase it down. On jokeland.com, on the top of a website, it says information, video, blah, blah, blah. The on the choice, if you click on videos, there are different videos, but there's 5 things like J01, J02, and they're phone calls of me with this guy, David Feldman.
Oh, Feldman's amazing. Great dude.
10 to 12 minutes of me being as filthy as you possibly can, and he is the greatest one-on-one reactor to my filthy jokes. It just, people tell me when they discover that, they could drive to Pluto and back with that shit going. Because he just goes fucking berserk. The dirtier I get, the crazier he goes. And and we go from the childish jokes, the most sophisticated, horrendous. Oh God! And I have 100 of those calls. God, we could play them on your network, huh?
You can play any of them. Yeah,
it's a 2-party stage.
I'm sure half of the jokes on there nowadays will get me locked up, but
please, not here. Give Rodney a chance, says Dave Daffler for $2.
There's one of them right there.
Gardner fan. Wow, Bob, finally not the oldest guy in the room. There you go. Pickle Dick. Yeah. Morning, fellas. Love this. 100%. Great seeing you, Jackie. That's Pickle Dick.
Thank you. I could read that. It's in big letters. Pickle Dick.
Commie Ray DeVito. Jackie, have you ever heard of Shuli?
Shuli who?
There you go.
Hey,
This looks like a reverse mortgage commercial.
You know what? I'm almost out of money. And my house is worth probably $1.5 million. And that is so tempting. And everybody says, you can't do that. You've got to be out of your fucking mind. Why don't you just hand them your wallet? And I'm like, would Tom Selleck really steal my money? And they're like, are you kidding? In a heartbeat, that motherfucker would take anything. He doesn't know what he's doing. They pay him and he does the commercial.
Yeah.
But it sounds so enticing because I have nightmares. I actually have nightmares of dying with money in the bank. I want to spend that shit. My last $20, I want to hand it to the guy who's put me in the hole. You know what I mean? I want to get rid of it. I want to spend it. And that's like, it's weird if you don't have a lot of money, but you got this really worth expensive home, but it's not like having a piece of hash and you can cut off a piece and sell it. I can't cut off a room and sell it to somebody. You got this big fucking pink elephant that's beautiful, but you're starving sitting inside this fucking pink elephant. So what are we going to do? What
here's the plan.
We
Jackie's Airbnb.
Oh, there you go. Jackie's Airbnb.
I would do that except somebody said that it's against the law to advertise young Korean girls only.
Oh, yeah. They tend to frown upon that, Jackie. Yeah.
Or close enough.
Fancy Hippo. Good morning, boys. Jackie, as a credited revered writer on the Stern Show, did you ever consider pivoting to being a substitute teacher?
I was a substitute teacher.
Get out of here.
At some point at Michigan State, after we had the whole tune in, drop out, that whole thing, and fuck the world, and I decided, maybe I'll become a teacher. And I took enough courses that I could become accredited as a teacher. And then after I graduated, I had no money, but I still owed Michigan State money. My grandmother loaned me, I think it was $500, so I could pay off Michigan State. That sounds ridiculous, but $500 in 1968 or whatever it was $1 billion to me. It was on sale. And she gave me the money, and I got my teacher's certificate. No. And I think I taught 2 days. And you know what I did? I was the proctor for the New York State Regents. Do you know what those? Do they still do those? Are the New York State or federal? There were tests that they were aligned. They were all aligned so they could measure the students against each other. And you basically stood there and had the kids fill out the name, blah 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 blah. And I just remember that. I said, all right, fill out your name, your address, your sex, and how old you are, blah, blah, blah. And so it'd be the same. There was an exact script.
Right.
And then when they came back in the afternoon, you had to do the whole thing over again. So I said, all right, put your name, put your address, put your sex, For most of you, that'll be the same as it was this morning. 40 years ago, before the concept existed, you know. I was a student assistant, actually, at Michigan State, which was unbelievable. Michigan State was so huge that there was a social science class. Snyder and Smucker had the social science class, and it was like a lecture hall with like 200 or 300 people. But they shot it on camera, and they showed it all over Michigan State because it was such a huge university. There were different spots in the university where there was a classroom with a television, and the kids would come in and sit in the classroom, and the student assistants like me would go in, plug in the TV, turn it to the right channel, and then tell the kids, all right, look this way. We're gonna have, and then after the lecture, we would lead the question and answer period, which was just fucking wonderful. I don't know why they would have put me in charge of that. All I know is I was a student assistant, and one night, it was December, the reason I know is this is famous, it was December 1st, 1969, and they had the very first draft lottery. And I was born on Valentine's Day. And so me and the guys were like, you know what, let's get a bunch of beer, and we'll sit and watch TV, and we'll watch the lottery. So I said, all right. And I always had to buy the beer because I always had money because I played in the band. So I ran out to the beer store. Of course, we were not the only people in the world that got the bright idea to get drunk and watch the lottery. So it took me forever at the beer store to get the beer. I swear to God, this, and I came back with the beer, and I walked in the house, and they said, Martling, you better start drinking. They already pulled your fucking birthday. I was number 4. Four. And the next day I went in to teach my class, and I'm so hungover, I'm just shot. And one of the kids says, Mr. Martling, were you involved in that draft lottery last night? And I jumped up on the desk, stomped my boots, and said, I'm number fucking 4. I'm going to Vietnam. It was fucking hysterical. I swear to God, I'm number fucking 4. And I got out. So, and that's a very good chapter in my book. So you should buy that book just for that chapter because it's really interesting.
Talk about Stern Show legends. Here's another one. I don't know if you remember Mark's Friggin, but Mark is a guy who used to transcribe and put online all the ins and outs of every episode of the show. And he's a legend. He's been around forever. Here he is. I was the first call to say F Timmy on Stern. I'm sorry, says Mark.
I know Mark. I appreciate. I've called him in the past to either ask him something or ask him to clear something. He's always been really good to me. And F Mark Friggin. You know that? You know how that whole F thing came about? It was so interesting. In what was the Howard second book with him in a dress as a
Miss
woman?
America, right?
Yes. Miss America. He did a chapter about me, and the very first 2 words in my chapter said, fuck Jackie. And then he went on for 3 or 4 or 5 pages to sing my praises. And he said such nice stuff, all right? But it started with fuck Jackie. And one day a caller called in and said, Howard, I agree. F Jackie. And everybody kind of smiled. And then Howard took another call. And another caller said, yeah, I agree. F Jackie. And the second time it happened, it was off to the races, and that cemented that, and it went to F Jackie, F Timmy, F Tom Chiasano's wife Penelope, F everybody's dead skull. It just went on and on and on. They're still saying that shit. And it was just some random caller, you know, and you know maybe Mark Friggin was the first guy to say F Jackie. F Timmy didn't start. F Timmy was a permutation of the original. God, and my poor dead cat. Jesus Christ, these people.
No, it had a huge impact on how things are going even today. We even have our own drop with that kind of style for our Mr. Mike Morse.
Yeah.
People get into it.
A bunch of people.
Mike Morse, fuck off, you useless, untalented piece of shit.
Can we get Jackie to do it?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to. Can you tell Mike, fuck you, Mike Morse, you untalented piece of shit?
Well, here, why don't somebody write it in the chat, and then we can put it up and you can read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, make
I
it
don't
more
need
difficult.
a script.
Yeah,
Well,
what's wrong with
but
you?
it's listen, it's very precise.
Shut up, Mike. Go ahead, Jackie. Whenever you're ready.
Mike Morse, if you were in show business for shit, you would not get a smell.
Perfect. Thank you. Great year of laughs, says Sean out west. I always thought Jackie was the heartbeat of the Stern Show and never the same after Nancy forced him out. Oops, I mean Howard. Sean out west.
You know, people was so, once again taking Howard's lead. People was so crummy to Nancy, and it was just ridiculous. Like, she never had any say. She was such a fan, and she loved the whole thing so much. And then she got blamed for, making me apologize to Howard. She had nothing to do with it, except for getting mad at me for being in the bathtub with Jessica Hahn, which just about anybody in the world would have.
Yeah.
But they just gave her such a hard time, and she's still, I'm still defending her because she's a great singer and songwriter and a great actress, and she never got a fucking break to go across the street. But people blamed her, and then people said, "Oh yeah," and then she left you the day you left Stern. Me and her were broken up for the most part for years, but there was no way to get divorced when. You guys know that show. You're working 4 or 5 hours a day at the crack of dawn and then going out and doing gigs on the weekend. There was no time. The last thing I was going to do was go looking for a bachelor pad and live with a hot plate or something like that. So we just coexisted. We were always good friends, and we still
Well, that
are.
sounds
And then once I was off the show, that left plenty of time. And we, just coincidentally, at the exact same time, this house on the beach became available. And I moved into my dream house, and it's just a very happy ending. Thank God I paid off my houses before I wound up off the show. Now, otherwise I'd be out with a tin cup. But all is nice.
Yeah.
The Looney Tunes critic. This guy is a brilliant creator. That's the other thing, Jack. We have so many fans that are so talented that if you start doing a show, they'll contribute stuff to your show. They'll help create stuff for the show. These people are so generous with their time, their talents, their everything. So they can't wait. The Looney Tunes critic, Stuttering John, says he was a writer on Stern, not that he contributed in his own small way. He says he was a writer, no qualifications. Was he, Jackie?
Who are we talking about?
Stuttering John.
I don't remember.
He doesn't remember Stuttering John. I don't know.
I'm not taking anybody's bait, Levy. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Plus, Jackie's old. He doesn't remember everything.
It's like,
Right, no.
when did you stop beating your wife? You know what I mean?
I think Jackie's just doing an impression of Hollywood.
I don't beat my wife. I just look like I do.
There you go.
I would say, who said I stopped?
You dress for it. You dress as a woman.
That's another John one. We'll move on to that. Jackie, the Martling, snatching snapper in the sound, soaring high above the ground, giggling and glistening in the sun to see. Oh, what fun. Beautiful. HM, member for 14 months. Oh, Ira the Weatherman. This guy used to work
there is no beginning to the talent.
Yeah. Ira the Weatherman. Shuli, this is a great show. Shout out to Jackie and his eyebrows. Burn in hell, Mike. Burn in hell. There you go.
My girlfriend is so up my ass to get a haircut. I get my eyebrows shaved off. And in like a month or two, I got this forest up here. But she hates it, but I love it. I think it just looks fun. I look like the little guy on the Monopoly board. You know that little guy?
Oh yeah,
it could be an Andy Rooney impersonator.
Have you thought of that? Hey Jackie, lifelong Stern fan here. Would you please tell my favorite joke of yours? It's the one about the cat on the small couch in the apartment.
I love that. I have an animated version of that joke that is so funny. And whoever that guy is, if you email me, I will send you the animated version of that joke, which is priceless. My email, anybody wants to send an email, and this is especially for the sexy broad in Toronto, My email is jokeland@aol.com. JOKELAND@aol.com. I gave that out on Christian's Blotcast or whatever it was. And I got like 100 emails of people like, you don't answer these. You don't answer these. And I'm sitting there writing back, yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know, I love to talk about the show. You know, people ask a question. Like I got stories in my unpublished book that it's like a whole chapter about the question they're asking about. And I get to share that shit. You know,
is that
what's really crazy? You know, you ever look back at missed opportunities? When I wrote my book, I wrote so much.
I dated her, missed opportunity.
You can have X amount of words. And I think it was, you know, I don't know, it was 280 words or 280,000 words, whatever it was. And it turned out I had written twice as much as I needed. So I had to play Sophie's Choice and say, all right, I'll put in this chapter. I'll put in this chapter, because they were all modular chapters. And for the life of me, I have no idea why I didn't put in the chapter about the making of Private Parts, which would have by far been the most interesting chapter to people and to the fans and to everybody. And that didn't make the cut into the fucking. So anytime somebody asks me about Private Parts, I send them that story and they write back like, holy fuck, because that tells the whole tale of being abused, being just the whole story is just so fucking interesting, I think. And meanwhile, it's the most. Then people say, what was the most fun you ever had in the show? And the truth of it is, the most fun I ever had in the show was the 3 or 4 days I was working on that movie, because that was just so much. I sat next to Jenna Jameson. She was naked for 2 days sitting next to me. I mean, what's not for life? You know, Jesus Christ.
Prime Jenna Jameson.
Sorry to go on like that. Sorry to go on.
That's anytime you can bring up a new Jenna Jameson, we're fine. Salty Rectum. Can't wait for Jackie to get a taste of Super Chats. He will be on Uncle Rico and it will be epic. Jackie can do his own thing.
What is this Uncle Rico?
So that's our crown jewel here at TSN. That is
flagship show.
Our flagship show. That is where we sit. The producers put together about a 40 to 50 minute package of John's latest episode of his
Stuttering
podcast.
John, he was on the Stern Show.
He was a writer. I don't know if you remember him. And we watch and comment and like Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's something we have yet to see, and we roast for a couple hours live, and people love it.
Not for nothing, that escapes me, but if it's working, congratulations. You know.
Believe me, we're all amazed that it is. It should have been done a long time ago, but it continues to grow. Look, we have 800 people in here watching us live right now. And in the description of this show, we put in the link to your shows this weekend and put in his website link as well, Frog, Jokeland. Throw his email. Yeah, throw in his
email.
Put in cameo.com/Jackie Martling.
All right, take it easy.
I'll make a few bucks off that. I have no problem with that.
What's your email again?
Huh?
What's your email?
Jokeland@AOL.com.
Is that a new one?
That's been the same since 1994. You know, people still rail at me about that. You know, once in a while, you know, I'll get an email from an old timer, and they'll have an AOL, and I say, you know, I'd really like to fuck with you about being on AOL, except for the fact that I'm on AOL.
Right. Exactly.
I just do it. I don't, you know, who gives a fuck, you know?
Exactly.
That's the first email you get when you pull up Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, right. Meaty skirt. I remember that. That's a classic. There's Don. Use your finger. You remember that? That is a classic.
That's still going. Still going. 516-9221. I actually have considered just writing a book just about that. It's so many funny fucking things. You know who Rick Rubin is, right?
Sure.
So the first time we did a show in Los Angeles from the Roosevelt Hotel, it must have been for the Grammys or something. And at the Roosevelt Hotel or some of these hotels, when they did a radio thing, what they do is they have a big ballroom, and all the different radio stations would have a table around the circumference. Like, this is Albany, and this is St. Louis, and this is Miami. So the celebrities could go from table to table and do interviews with all the different radio stations around the country. And Rick Rubin came, and I think he had just done that. Was it Deaf whatever it was. He had hit it out of the park, but he wasn't Rick Rubin that he became yet. But he came and sat down across. I used to sit there next to Howard and Robin because I'd be writing notes right there at the table. And Rick Rubin sat down and he looked over the table at me. He said, "Jackie, I grew up in Long Beach on Long Island, and I called 922 Wine every morning before I went to high school." I would love to get a hold of the guy and say, "Do you remember saying?" I'm sure he remembers that. I'm like, hey, throw a brother a record deal. What do you do?
Hook a brother up. Pickles Melendez, Stern Show, Mount Rushmore. Two of my favorite Jackie moments were his Carvel was clothesline and hearing Jackie falling out of his chair, laughing at Beat's answer during Battle of the Wits game. Spell red, LSTER. That was amazing.
That's so funny. What was the Carvel?
Carvel was closed. I think it had something to do with Fred. Maybe you guys were busting his balls about the cookie puss or something. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I figure if Carvel was brought up, odds are it was about Fred.
That was one. Sometimes with things on the show that rewarded the faithful listeners.
Right.
Like if Fred went to Carvel and got the cookie puss for his mother or his girlfriend or something. So then, if all of a sudden they say, "Oh yeah, Fred gave his girlfriend a fur coat for Christmas" or something like that, Carvel was closed. You had to know the background, but if you knew the background, you'd fucking die laughing at that. Oh, he was so great. He was so great. He is so great.
Another one from Pickles. One of the best skills to have in that studio was the ability to deflect a verbal beating from the whole room onto someone else. I always felt Jackie mastered doing that to Fred when being targeted.
That was a whole skill, is to shift the conversation to Fred or to Gary or to Robin. Because when they're ganging up on you, I used to feel like Bruce Lee. Like Bruce Lee is standing and all of a sudden guys come at him from every angle, and he's, like Howard and Robin and Fred and Gary and, and here they come. And then, all of a sudden like, "Oh God, look at Gary's ass." And boom, all of a sudden it shifts,
Yeah.
It didn't always work. But it often worked, and then Fred,
It was definitely like a hyena environment where if they sensed there was a wounding antelope somewhere, all of a sudden they would all just come on you. And Robin was vicious. She would do those little things that would just keep it going and keep instigating it. It was great.
Well, I don't know if you're aware, but she's the reason they coined the word cunt. No, she was my friend, and I love her, and that's a horrible thing to say, but that's something she would have said about me, so that's fine.
Yeah. Exactly. Jackie, would you have signed an NDA from the Howard Stern Show?
No, that's racist.
Jackie NWA.
Jackie in the Cordoza Hotel incident. It still makes me laugh to this day, says Lewis. Thank you, Lewis.
No truth to any of it, but it was great fun. Now, do you know whose suite we were in? Did that all come out? And I don't know if it came out in the show because I didn't think it was something I should share. But we stayed in Gloria Estefan's suite. She owned the hotel. She might still. I don't know if the hotel's still there. But Gloria Estefan and her husband were so wealthy, and they owned that hotel. And the general manager and the owner of the Florida affiliate, Dave, was good friends with her. And he said, "Gloria's out of town. She'd be glad to, to rent you her place for however long it was, and it was all in the up and up. It was great fun, Oh, Jackie glommed a free hotel room, And once again, Howard had my button, so he had a free for all with it, so who cares, It's amazing that 25 years later, people don't even know their own fucking cousins' names, and they can pull up the Cardozo Hotel,
It's amazing. It really is. I would love to hear Jackie to get through the work week. Please join, he says. Please join. Jackie might be old and rambling, but even he notices that Shuli buys fake positive super chats. Did you know Jackie used to tie an onion on his belt?
Wait. Do that again. That was too fast for me. Put that up again.
He's accusing me of putting up fake positive super chat. So there's a certain broadcaster
Wait
who
a
claims
minute. Fake positive ones about your show or about me?
no, about you. About you.
Oh,
He's
you
breaking
son
your
of a bitch.
balls.
You know my ego. I was buying all of it. You know.
It's all legit.
Yeah.
I'm not putting anything. What I was going to say is John is so upset about the success that we have here that he claims everything we have is fake. The viewers, the super chats, the memberships, that we fake all of it. So that is a running
I do
joke
know
here.
for a fact that this isn't me.
There you go. Jackie Martling for life, says Richard Durand. Thank you, Richard. Was Jackie ever on the Steve Ames show? There's a great question.
Steve and me, believe it or not, we went to third grade together in East Norwich, and he's been a dear friend forever.
Is he still around?
I got a question. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Steve Ames? Who the fuck is that? Do you know who that is?
He used to have a public access show out of Manhattan, the Steve Ames show.
Jackie, I got a question. Did you remember Pete DiLorenzo?
He went under the name Al. What's his name? Remember that filthy bird? I love that guy. What was his name?
Goldstein.
Al Goldstein. I did his show.
Oh, from Screw Magazine, right?
and Money Magazine. The guy was fucking brilliant. He was great. He was a great character, man.
Yeah,
Bobby,
you remember the worst ventriloquist in the world? I believe he used to come to Rascals, Pete DiLorenzo.
Not ventriloquist.
Nah, impressionist.
Impressionist. He looked like a rat. We used to call him Rat Boy.
Pete DiLorenzo. You familiar with Pete?
I don't remember that name. I did.
There he is. Yeah, next time you come on, we'll play one of his stand-up sets from Steve Ames. You could check it out with us. Yeah, I think you'd remember him once you see it. Look at this. Road Glide Vic says, I've been a fan of Jackie since Buckman on WBAB used to call Joke Line and play it on air.
That helped me so much. There was a guy, when we first started doing comedy on Long Island, me and Richie Minervini started comedy on Long Island in a restaurant in Huntington that wound up becoming the East Side Comedy Club. But it was just a show in a bar restaurant upstairs. And it was owned by Jerry Cooney, the boxer. It was owned by his brother. And it was so much fun. And we started, I'm like, we got no money. How are we going to let people know about it? So I got the bright idea to get the Joke Line. And I put on the Joke Line. And, right away it was busy all the time. And we packed the place and we were making lots of money. And this guy, Brian Battles, called me and said, hey, could you do 922 Wine for my show on Saturdays? Like, do a special one and I'll give you lots of promotion. I'm like, wow, the radio, that'd be great. And I think I did his show like twice. And of course, Bob Buckman was the disc jockey in the morning, the main guy during the week. And he right away called up and said, fuck Brian, do it on my show. And I did special. He'd pretend he was calling 922 Wine, but it was actually a machine at my house that I did a special tape for him every day. And he'd call up and the tape would get progressively dirtier and dirtier. And I would insult the hell out of Buckman and insult the hell out of Perry Apollo, who was his sidekick. And I would make really sexy, filthy, lewd. It was so great. And I go on. And finally, he'd call every day right at 8 o'clock. And when it got too filthy, he'd set off a bomb sound effect and go into the top record of that week. And the show doubled in popularity in the 8 o'clock hour. And it was so good for me. It was so good for him. And the early ads for Governors, the Governor's Comedy Shop, as heard on WBAB, and they had bumper stickers that said Jackie Martling long before there was a Joke Man thing. And he was really great. In fact, the first time I met your friend Stuttering John, Gary came and said, hey, Howard, there's a guy who wants to be an intern. He got a really bad stutter. And Howard said, hire him. Before he even met him. And then John came in and said, you're the guy from BAB.
Jackie, this is Pescado Joe. I love the ball busting on Stern. Love when you read from Robin's book. What was your favorite story from that book? Can we get a hee?
You know, I don't remember any of the stories. I just remember some of the specific lines when it was so pompous that people thought I was making it up. And I was reading, you know, there's a show that they do in Manhattan, which is unbelievable. It's different celebrities reading other celebrities' autobiography. I think it's called Celebrity Autobiographies. And these people read word for word the autobiographies of these people, and you think that they're making it up because it's so. I just remember they were reading from who's the guy from the Beach Show?
David Hasselhoff.
David
Hasselhoff. Yeah.
His autobiography. You know, people just fucking howling. Like Richard Kind is reading from it, or somebody like that. But I don't know what we were talking about.
Perfect.
What we go back?
Robin's book, and you
Robin's book. Robin's book. You old fuck.
And every line
I was talking
was
about.
so pompous, and I just remember the one thing I remember. It wasn't a story. She said, "Oh, and then I'd go out with the girls, and I'd wear a nice short skirt, and I had legs that went on forever. Oh, my legs went on forever." And I was like, "Holy shit!" You know how that came about? We would hop in Howard's limo to go to a screening, like an HBO screening or something like that. They'd have a special screening. And even if it was a block away, Howard couldn't walk to HBO or he couldn't walk to Showtime. So we all had to pile into the limo. And that day, Robin had given us all a copy of her book. And we get into the car, into the limo, and it's me and Ralph and Howard and Gary. I don't think Robin was in the car, and we're packed in there. And I always had my bag, you know, my L Bean bag that always had all my shit in it. We're sitting there, and we're only going a couple blocks, but we're in New York traffic, and we're sitting there, and everybody's like twiddling their thumbs. And I looked down, and the fucking book was in my bag, and I just reached down and picked it up and opened it at random and started reading from it. And the guys were they were going crazy. And of course, Howard hated the idea because he knew how much that was going to kill on the air. And that's way too much Jackie airtime. But everybody's like, you got to read it on the air. You got to read. And then like the next day, you know, I printed out some of the pages. And of course, she squirmed. The fact that she squirmed so badly. And I didn't make any of it up. It was like,
right.
I knew right away that I had a future in broadcasting. I was a natural, an absolute natural. She gets so pissed off.
A few more here. 06 Denali. Thanks, Jackie, for all your entertainment. Listening to you from WNBC days. Berg, best show ever. Love listening to Joe Cunt.
Hey, that's another thing, Shuli. We could play those on your air, right?
Yeah, dude, have them.
You know this.
We've been trying to get you to come here, and you keep on talking like we're trying to talk you out of it. No, come.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. I got a ton of ideas.
I got so much shit.
This guy's great.
My old girlfriend, every day, when are you going to do a podcast? Why are you going to everybody else's podcast? You're helping everybody else. It's not.
Tell her to shut up. We're doing it. Tell her, zip your lip, woman. Show your pimp hand over there, Jackie. Take control.
You'd think she was telling me not to do it. She's telling me to do it.
Right.
Yeah, she's sick of you. She wants you out of your life. Yeah, she wants you away. Thanks for the great.
You know, there's a great black guy from our hometown.
No, come on.
Now you're just being silly. What's wrong with you?
This great character, Barry, he was built like an Iron Man, and his nickname was Superman. And one day I came into the local bar, Cagney's, and me and him are having a couple of beers and laughing our balls off. And he said to me, "You know, Jack, being with you is like eating chicken. I have you one night a week, and I feel like I had you all fucking week. I'm still trying to figure out if that was a compliment or whether he was being shitty to me. But it was just classic, just classic.
Daniel says, I didn't start listening to Howard Stern Show until right after Jackie left. I feel like I was robbed of the best moments of the show. Jackie, please do a show on TSN. We would love you.
I will commit to that. I will commit to that right now.
Nice.
Absolutely. What do I physically need? What do I physically need?
To listen. No, I'm just kidding. You don't need much. We got it. We'll take care of it. We'll talk after the show. We'll figure out what you got if you need anything, and we'll set you up. All right? You got nothing to worry about.
You know who wanted to put a camera in Jokeland? Do you know what Earth Cam is?
Sure. Isn't that like where they watch animals drink from watering holes and shit?
Oh.
Earthcam.com is a good friend. I met him at a movie screening about 20 years ago. You've probably seen this. The first thing he did is he had a camera on the hole that was going to become One World Trade Center. And he had a camera on the hole, and the camera was there for like the 2 or 3 years it took to build. And you watched the Twin Towers go from a hole to a fucking building in 2 minutes. It's the most amazing fucking video. And that crew, he has cameras everywhere in the world. He makes a fortune putting the camera on sites. Nowadays, if you're building something in Dubai, the foreman isn't there. The foreman has 1 million cameras on it, and he's supervising from his desk in Manhattan. It's he can zoom in and say, this screw isn't tight enough. I mean, it's amazing. Wow. But this guy has cameras everywhere. He has a camera on the Abbey Road crosswalk. The Beatles crosswalk. Sure. And it's so funny because I almost got killed on that crosswalk. I'm sure you guys have been to England. We were broadcasting from Abbey Road, and me and Fred left to go have a few beers where the Beatles used to drink. And we walked out, and in England, the traffic goes the other way. Now, when you're crossing the street in America, you look this way, you look back this way, and then you give a cursory glance this way, and you walk across the street. But in England, it's exactly backwards. And that Abbey Road crossroads is right after a slight curve. And I looked and then looked back, but I did it the wrong way. And I went to step out, swear to you, Fred Norris grabbed me by my shirt and yanked me back.
Oh, wow.
The fucking bus went by 3 feet from my face. And one for Fred, I'd be dead. And I thought, what a great place to die. The Abbey Road crossroad. He faked his death,
You got an album cover.
It was fucking amazing. Once again, I have no idea what we're talking about.
I had a joke about 3 minutes ago. I thought of a camera on a hole is OnlyFans.
Oh, I thought you were going to make a Robin joke, but Jackie, please take me to lunch. Is the Friars Club still open?
Yeah, yes, it is. 57 East 55th.
Is it reopened? I know it was closed.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow if you want to meet me there.
There you go.
Yeah, the original Jews are still there, 160 years old. Go check them out at the fucking Friars Club.
Mike's gonna be there tomorrow, and Jackie's doing 3 days in Massachusetts.
That was
Friar. I can go anytime I want.
It really was so much fun.
Marco V.
Let's go to the Friars. I know I can't pay.
Marco V. 193. Whatever happened to the jetty, Jackie?
We lost the jetty to a storm named Sandy. I know it's a long time, but it was like 12 years ago. The jetty Sandy just ravaged the jetty and yanked it out and banged it up. But then there was another storm 2 weeks later that finished it off. I've actually got pictures of it. It's very sad. That's somebody you would probably love to have on the show. Nobody, Sandy? I love the Google. I love the internet because I have so many stories and so many of the stories. Like when I first started with Howard, like we'd sit there before the show, me and Howard and Fred would sit there and shoot the shit. This is in the very early days when we first got to K-Rock. started in mornings, and we'd be telling bullshit stories. And Howard would tell a story, and then Fred would tell a story, and then I would tell a story, and my stories were always so much funnier and so much more interesting because I did so much more. You know, those guys were home watching the Brady Bunch when I was out doing acid and running wild in college. You know, we just had different life experiences. So I'd tell my stories, and I swear to God, I'd be halfway through a story, and I'd see Fred and Gary and Howard. They'd be looking at each other and rolling their eyes like, oh, here we go, another bullshit story. And then slowly but surely, as time went on, Howard started to realize, holy shit, you know, like the one-legged woman and stories like that. He realized they were all true, you know, and it was amazing. The stories were just fucking funny. And once again, I have no idea what we're talking about.
That's good. We're wrapping up. Don't worry. It's nap time for Martling. But listen, Jackie, we're gonna set this up. We're gonna get you over here. Let's talk later and figure out the details. But Jackie, you got to come on here and give this a whirl for a little bit. See if you like it. All right.
All right. Well, I'll be home from Boston. I'll be around Monday. I'll be home from Boston. I'll be resting on Sunday because after all, it is a Jewish holiday, or at least it used to be. I don't know. But
Wait, I don't think.
Yeah, I want to talk to Bales about because our podcast, we had Vicky Botetto and Bartlett and Nelson. You know who we had on? And she was fucking wonderful. We had on 99. Does that predate all you guys?
No, Barbara
from Get Smart.
Barbara Feldman from Get Smart.
Wow.
She's 90 years old, and she was beautiful and wonderful. And these podcasts are so great. Nobody's seen them, and they're like 2-camera shoots, and they look great. It's standupmemories.com. Please check it out. They're beautiful. But if we could get that on here, it'd be great. You know, I could do 5 different shows on here. I'll never shut up. You'll never get rid of me, Shuli. You know.
That doesn't sound like you.
Now, do I have to move to Huntsville, Alabama?
No, you don't. But it would be awesome to have to wake up every day and see Jackie in the kitchen rolling a joint
next to your bed.
You look up Martling, Alabama. You will not believe it. You know.
I will check it out and check out Jackie this weekend. The links are in the description. His email's in there, the website, everything you need to keep in touch with Jackie. Email him, jokeland@aol.com. He will write you back. And Jack, man, always a pleasure hanging with you. Always a pleasure having you on. It's been too long. I'm sorry. And I love you. And one of the coolest days ever at Sirius, I'll never forget it. I was doing the Howard 100 News, went into the studio, talked to Howard. Later that day, did Jay Thomas in the afternoon. Later that night, did Jokeland with you and Ian. And then I remember in the afternoon, between the afternoon and evening, I'm in the break room waiting for Jokeland to start. And Robin comes in and starts talking to me. And you came in and I'm just sitting there as a fan, and I'm going, it doesn't get any better than this. Like everybody. And it was awesome.
There are moments. There are just stellar moments, you know. Like I sat there knee to knee with James Taylor, and he played 4 of his classic songs. Right. And I said, why doesn't somebody kill me right now? You know, I'm done. This is all I need, you know.
Well, the bus driver tried.
Shut me up. I'll never shut up. Listen, let's talk this over, and I'll do whatever you want to do as long as Levy's not involved.
Levy verse on the outs. You heard it here first, folks. Jackie, we love you. Thank you, pal. Have great shows this weekend. All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you guys.
Yep.
You got it.
Jack.
Later, Jack. Oops, sorry. The great Jackie Martling, ladies and gentlemen. Oh shit! Shuli, my boy, Bobby, love you, brother. Mike, miss you, buddy. Zen, you are the best. Shuli, wow, I didn't know you knew President Biden. Great show. Oh damn, it's just Jackie. I mean, what's up, Jacker? Just kidding. Do you want to answer that idiot or what? Okay.
What happened to our friend Joey? Like, I mean, we got to get into that sometime.
We do. I don't think we're over 2 hours already. It was a phenomenal show, and we have a shit ton of super chats as well to get through. So
what's happening, boys?
What's up, Joey? We will get the Bean story. Mr. Frog and Don Show live. Great stuff. The first of many, I hope. Mason in Portland. Hello, Bob. Why you no here when I make big entrance yesterday? You know good guy.
I was had a gig, and Jackie's doing that gig next week. He's going to be at Hemingway's in Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
Seaside Heights.
What?
The Seaside Heights.
What? Get the fuck out of it. There's no duh.
What? Jackie, you thought WATB was confusing. Buckle up. Dave Daffa. Oh, Mike's here. Bye. Love you, Mike.
Let me take a leak.
Go ahead. Good morning, shitheads. Good morning, Rev. Can we start over under of what year Bob finishes Spare Me? I think 2027 should be the bar.
That's not bad.
That's a great idea.
Got the over.
Jackie, see you at Oyster Fest, buddy. F. Timmy. For Zen's Laundry Fund. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Mars made a new video. I gotta play.
Close call.
Is this the Zen and three old guys show?
4.
Why is Zen dressed like my Uncle Sal from Flatbush?
When you come over here and I'll tell you. I'll fucking tell you.
It's his favorite kind of bush. Flatbush. Finally, someone intentionally funny. Dave Daff. You motherfucker. I hate you. Is Zen wearing a training bra? Hey, Bob.
Oh, hey.
Jackie, do you know the shit layer? Oh, I missed this one. Sorry. Yeah, listen. We got to ease Jackie into. I can't just fucking hammer him with everything. You guys want him to do a show here? He will, but we can't just throw all the shit at him in one shot. So if I didn't get to your thing, be patient. Jackie, you look like Jeff Dunham's Walter puppet. He really kind of did. Jackie, what's your favorite energy drink? This is like talking to my grandpa on FaceTime, Bob. Jackie, tell me a joke, please. Must contain race. And I tell you, my favorite one is black guy walks into a bar with a parrot on his shoulder. Bartender says, "Where'd you get it?" Parrot says, "Africa. There's thousands of them." So stupid. Jackie, my favorite joke is give Rodney a chance. I still say it. Legendary. Keep Jackie on the line until they show up. That was the plan.
They.
Even with Jackie on, Bob still looks the oldest.
Please, get the fuck you.
Lionel Hutz, Geek Chorus. Love you, Jackie. Love your songs. 3 Days Rest, my favorite. Oh, that's very nice. Jackie, if you ever host a Stern Show reunion, don't put John in charge of souvenirs. Trust me. Yeah, at first I was like, don't worry, I'm not going to hit you with John stuff. Because, I explained to him the main thing we do here is the John Show. And I know he's not looking to be a part of that. But you got to get him in the door. Once they're in the door, it's just a matter of time. Especially you don't shy away from shit. For Trucker Zen's Laundry Fund, seriously, put a shirt on. Oh, hey, Don.
Oh, hey, Stuttering Bob.
And remember, he was going to pop in for I'm in for 10 minutes. I'm not going to get out of here. Fucking 2 hours later.
I've heard mob informants talk less.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of Jackie, man. Is, he gives it. It's showtime. When he's on, it's showtime.
Yeah, he doesn't want to start the car, but when he does, that's when he just goes. That's good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
still on a show.
Our buddy Mars, who's a great contributor to the show, makes amazing face swap videos, has made another one. Let's play this for everybody. I fucking hate these. I hate these. Look how fat I am. All right, here we go.
Is this guy serious?
Is he fucking with me?
It can't actually be serious. And you are. That's the sad part. You really expect us to believe that you've ever been in show business. You have not. You have not been in show business.
You have not.
Look, I like how my one lens disappears on my glasses.
I have. I've been in show business. I did in feature films.
I like I'm wearing a jeweler's loop on one eye.
I mean, you mean the amount of things I did them, but you haven't. I've been on Conan, Jon Stewart, Dave Leno. I've done the late night shows, Bob. You have not. You have not. So don't ever put yourself in the same category as me, Pup.
I never will, because you're a fucking bag of shit.
Somebody once told all of you clowns on the shit knower, you guys will never attain the success that I have attained.
Can you imagine working with that guy every day coming in? You guys will never attain the kind of things that I've done in my career.
But look at how fat John really is, because when you put him on someone else, it's amazing.
And you notice his lisp, because it's your voice, but it's John's dialect and lisp. And well, you know what that means.
Well, and also look at the scroll on the bottom. Cardiff Electric, Bob Levy's a hack. Coffin Meals is a scam. Levyverse.
It's not a scam. The coffin meals are coming. Okay.
Okay, we'll see.
You look at that guy, and this guy has a windowless van somewhere near your kid's playground. Do you know what I mean?
Sounded like Jackie should have been promoting coughing meals.
Quality. You are all losers. Bottom of the barrel losers.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mars. Fantastic. That was
Shuli,
great.
can I show you something funny?
Sure.
So, Vince on Wednesday did a show reviewing me and Don doing the show.
Yeah, it didn't get.
No, it got 26,000 views.
Oh,
well done,
wow.
Vince. Nice. It's amazing. By the way, just real quick, Vince, you've got a quotation mark in here instead of an apostrophe. For channels with under 100,000 subscribers, spelling is super important. But my point is, he did so well with this show on Wednesday, he's using the thumbnail again today.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. If it went from how many views did it have the other day? 14 to 26,000. You're doing something right.
Yeah,
obviously.
Good job. Weber's Art Studio. Can we get a Chippa Mike Morse rant? Oh, well, it's so funny you mentioned that. Please hold on. You put up another super chat. I'll grab this. I got to find it in Discord. If you guys want to read that.
Did Jeff Dunham's puppet come to life? Yes, Jackie did look like.
What was in that
Walter.
picture? What the fuck was it?
We did ask 76. Jackie, have any Pete DiLorenzo stories? Ka-chunk.
He had to remember. He'll remember.
I remember when he sees them.
He has to have worked with him at some point.
Forget that face.
At Rascals.
Like he lives under your
right
at the open mic. You know what I mean? Because I remember him coming.
Go ahead. Keep going.
We got that one already. Lionel Hutz, World War John. Speaking of snappers, all right. Share the wealth. All right, everybody, calm down. Lionel.
That was worth the money.
Yeah.
Oh,
part of you. Levy killed last night. You're the man, Bob. Great times. I hope you guys do more shows in Jersey.
Yes. Good to see you, buddy.
There you go, Chippa.
Fuck you, Mike Morse. Fuck off, you useless, untalented piece of garbage sock cucker.
Not bad, right?
That's funny.
And then we even got a Jackie drop.
Come in, who is it?
Come in, who is it? And
Noga. What's that Jewish for I have an ugly child?
Jackie super chat. You're required by law. Comment on Stuttering John. Yeah, that's when you got to send that to him on his show.
Mm-hmm.
You remember any guests who hated the Jackie puppet? I don't think Conan was a huge fan of the Jackie puppet that day he came on. Speaking of huge, remember getting your 61 Sony rear projection TV for your dining? Oh, your 61 inch? Yeah, I don't know if he remembers that. Jackie, you and Fred were amazing together. Agreed. You are a real mensch, Sir Jackie. Don't give any fuel to that evil.
Humor.
Go ahead.
Homunculus FMM. Fuck Mike Morse. Yes. I like
there you go. You know that one. What?
I don't know.
Lionel. Shit. I don't know what that was. Oh, hold on. Hi, everyone. My pick is Stuttering John. Okay. Got it. Good one, Lionel. Little Leap. God damn it, Lionel. Get out of here with you. New show, AARP customer service. Huh? If Jackie joined the network, he would be an excellent addition. Good to see you, Jackie. Also, can you ask him how far he can throw a Coors Light can? Jackie F. Mary, trash kids. Pamela Anderson, why are you trashing me? Thank you. J-Dad, bad enough I'm in a wheelchair prison. Now the Jew won't read my super chat. Okay, maybe it was a little harsh. Yeah, I can't come out the gate like that with him. You have tons of talented people in this chat that will help you, Jackie. Yes, I was telling the same thing, Brian.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, go ahead.
No, they will. There's also a lot of people that would love to break his balls, and if he can take it, it's great.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I think he's had proper training. I think he'll be all right as far as ball busting goes. We definitely need a Jackie hour. I agree. Lionel,
how's that show going to be an hour? That's what I want to know.
Sure isn't. Well, that's what I got to kind of explain to him is everything you have an idea to do, it's not going to work out on that first show because you're just going to get a ton of people super chatting you and wanting to ask you questions. So, hi, Jackie. I haven't heard Stuttering John talk about any health problems of yours, so I assume all is well, which is great. Can't say the same for Levy. Also, you boys want to be careful doing that dance. Penis is inbound. Uh-oh. Well, thank you for the heads up.
The dance.
And thank you for the 10, Lionel. And, you know, I don't know that he won. I know that really pissed him off, so I didn't want to necessarily put that question up. Seriously, though, Bob, love you long time. Get a haircut.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get one today. I mean, even though I'm tired, I gotta swim. I gotta fucking nap.
You know how much a haircut takes out of you.
It just they don't shut the fuck up. You know, it's like fucking jeez.
Jackie, are you a fan of Keel all the juice?
Keel.
Oh, I got you. Kill all the. Yeah, I got you.
Oh.
Pluggy Martling is killing.
Look at the picture. That's funny.
Oh, that is great. Look at them on the bed. Oh,
make that big.
Bigger, not smaller. When did Mike come back? Have a shave, Zen. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. Duly noted.
Jackie, if John was a joke, what would that joke be? See, I'm telling you, give him a couple shows. He'll be answering all this shit. Jackie, I'm a huge fan. Oh, it's the Moyle who performed my bris. How do you respond to Emily Connor saying you were lousy in bed and have a small schmeckle? Great question. I don't know. Jackie, I felt that Fred was underrated. Thoughts? I think we can all agree with that.
Agreed.
Reminder, Jackie, the maid will be back shortly. Lionel, why does Zen look like he bashes his wife? Jackie, this is an honor. F Stuttering John. F Timmy.
Agreed.
Jackie could be the next Men Are Talking.
And now there's a fan.
Men are talking. People aren't listening.
Yeah, it happens when men talk, you know. Finger cots, ladies and gentlemen. They're back. Post one in the chat if you want Mike to leave the show.
Hold on. Yeah, I got some work to do. One.
Jackie, have you there you go. Jackie, have you plopped any spanners lately? Next TSN guest, Sirianni. Oh, Nancy? I'd love to talk to her. Can Jackie tell us his best James Gandolfini story?
I remember that.
Oh, wow, that was a rough one. Jackie, you should do a show on Levy. All right, block him. He's out of here. Dave Daffler said Jackie has to go. Don, Shuli, can you give me back the hard drive I lent you? The cops confiscated my backup and I'm feeling frisky. Also, you need to meet my new wife, Tight Fit. Oh, Gary Glitter, guys. What's up, Gary? Dave Daffler, God, don't want me yet, man. Got too many feet to taste. Jay Marlowe. So they could wash their sex toys. Okay. Stump the Joke Man. Why do priests create baptisms? Oh, so they can wash their sex toys. That's a good one. Jackie, beware. John cease and desist. That's right. There's two of them right here. That's when you know you got a hit show, Jackie, when they're sending you cease and desist. Jackie's link up with Phil Joe and Discount Don. Jackie, link up with Phil Joe and Discount Don. Love you, Jackie. But I think you're putting Zen to sleep. That's the sugar crash. Jackie makes me quivers a life. Nice pull, Don. I like that. Jackie, do you remember King of All Jackie haters? Oh, I'm going to say no, but Zen, shut up. Thank you. Love you, Jackie. Mike, not so much. And I get that.
Hit one.
Bob's Fake Pool. Will Jackie be at Bob's Fake Labor Day pool party? Who was better, Big Orange Marble or All Folked Up? Fuck, I would have loved to have asked that. Sorry, Arthur. We'll do that next time. Have you read Haha History, Jackie? And if so, why? Great question. Please hide me. Rob Saul keeps calling me. Two short, long dogs. Leave him alone, guys. Bob doing COVID. Jackie is in Seaside and Wildwood next Thursday?
Probably, because I'm doing Wildwood at the end of the month for them. So probably, yeah.
Go to his website, jokeland.com. Check it out. Yeah. The Cancer Man. The Cancer Man can.
Who can take a tumor?
Yeah. Why are you aiming your head up and looking down?
Probably the doctor's orders.
Yeah. Jackie, Bob, Shuli, Mike, and the Brooklyn Brawler. The Brooklyn Brawler. Fuck yeah. For Jackie the Jokester Freak, fuck you, Mike Morse, you useless piece of shit. Love you, boys. Hey, Frog and Don. Bob's Bag of Tea. Thank you for 14 months.
Oh, hey, Bob's Bag of Tea.
Joey C is sending me a link to go on his show.
Do it. We'll
You're
snipe
not
you.
doing anything right now.
I know.
Come on my show.
Jackie should be expecting a call from a famous former announcer from Tonight Show very soon. Surely no Governor Show recording. Brian Phelan set up the camera. I think we have a recording of it.
Oh, somebody said when I'm going to be in Wildwood. It looks like August 28th.
You get a bigger calendar, maybe?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I just, you know what I mean?
What the hell? What are you write cue card? You write jokes on cue cards for the show later?
Yeah.
My book. I don't know. Let me check my painting.
Yeah. Lewis, thank you for becoming a member, my friend. Welcome to the family. Jackie, who was your favorite Wack Packer? I think he was a Hank guy. Hank or Beetle, I think, were his two faves.
It used to be John, but not anymore.
This was after Jackie's exit, but I always loved Fred playing Jackie's laugh when Robin was reading a tragic news story. Only happened if Gilbert was on. Yeah, that's true. Ophelia. Love that.
Ophelia.
Uh-oh. Hey, Bo, you better get out of here, dude. John sees you super chatting us. He's going to freak out at you like Kevin did on Mr. What a video.
Nah, he doesn't get mad. I mean, Bo's always around me, and, John hasn't yelled at him yet. So
no, Bo's in here a lot. He watches regularly. He's a member, as you can see. He donates from time to time. He's a fan.
Yeah, he's been good, nice.
I'm just saying, we're fine with you going anywhere you want. Your buddy, not so much. So just be careful. I don't want to get you in trouble over $2. Jackie, get a cough button next time. You're on TSN. Yeah, act like it, Thanks for the great memories, Jackie. We love you. We all love you, you funny fucker. Amen, Bill. Got my Bob tickets for tonight. Let's go.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about a salute in Matawan, New Jersey at 8:30?
Is it really called a salute?
Yeah, it's some kind of, how these people are. Walk in there, they're all gonna sound like me, I guarantee.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Jackie didn't have to go to Abbey Road to die. I've seen him do it on plenty of roasts. Boom! Scalzo. Jackie was talking about the time-lapse video of amazing building of the Twin Towers. Has he heard the bad news? Yeah, I don't know, Scalzo. That's a good point. Zen, I'll take Zen, I'll take 20 unleaded and check Janet's oil too, Bilma. Greatest show today, fellas. Thank you, Chinaman's Wallet. Nice picture, by the way.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this guy, he's been Chinaman's Wallet since the other day, since you brought it up. Jackie, what a slap in your friend John Melendez's face. So sad. SPR.
What?
Thank you. I think Joke Man jealousy meltdown from Stuttering John in 3, 2, 1. Why? What's he got to be mad about? He didn't talk shit.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but you know,
He'll
the
find
other
something.
day
Oh yeah.
on WATB, that super chat asked Jackie who was funnier, John or Shuli, and Jackie said that's not even a question. Well, if the answer was John, wouldn't he be going on John's show?
Damn.
Maybe it's not a question because he didn't pick any. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe that's his truthful answer. Neither of them are funny. And that's fine. I was going to ask about Jackie writing me a joke cookbook, but I knew it would take 3 hours to get to it. Great show, boys. Jackie is a bulldozer. Yeah, Prince, thank you very much. Oh, go ahead, put that up. Zen, all jokes aside, man, I'll take a large calzone, mushroom, and green pepper. All jokes aside. Listen, I gotta run and say hi to Joey C on his show. So let's wrap this up here.
Listen, tomorrow I have Perry's coming back on Levyverse tomorrow at 4, so it'll be his first thing since his hospital visit. So come on by, and we will have fun.
Yeah, the guy just got out of the hospital. Tune in tomorrow and upset him to the point where he'll have to go back in.
It's just
be a lot of fun.
Stupid fucking vitamins and shit.
Yeah, vitamins are the worst.
Aspirin for no reason.
All right. Hey, listen, tomorrow night we're doing, well, tonight, first of all, we got Uncle Rico. Tomorrow night we will be doing tier 2 shows. Yeah, maybe we'll see, we can get some guests to pop in tomorrow night. And then
Tomorrow,
Sunday.
yeah, let's do a regular show at like 8, and if you
Yeah, we'll
want.
do like an hour and a half, and then we'll go behind the wall. I like that.
Oh, PCL is at noon today. They're back today. Okay, good. Thank God.
Point Dabble Points.
Yeah.
So I believe it's on Karl's channel this Friday today, and I think what we're going to be doing is Karl will do Friday Point Dabble Point. I think we're going to do like a Tuesday Point Dabble Point on TSN. So there's so much John news. We really need 2 roundtables at this point. So, and Gina wants to know: is Mike single yet?
No, I haven't taken.
Not yet.
So BS show, not the BS show. The fucking what's that gig? Dabblecon.
Dabblecon 2. Thank you, Bob. Let's go. August 16th, 17th, Rochester, New York, or Rochester, if you're a failed announcer on the Tonight Show. Join us. Friday, we got the Dabbleverse roast. We got karaoke. Saturday, podcast all day into the evening, kicking off the second annual Dabbies. The Dabbies Award Show is complete and ready to go. The boys killed it. Thank you, boys. And then we got the Dabble Dance Party after that. Then Sunday, some shit's going on. It's a whole weekend event. Some are calling it TardCon, which is fine. We'll take it. BSShowLive.com is where you can get tickets, or WATPLive.com.
I made a promo for that,
Did you really?
Yeah. Joe?
And it is. Oh, you have it?
See it?
I don't have it. I have it.
She emailed it to you.
She did?
When?
Days ago?
Oh, geez. Yeah. It's probably somewhere then.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it's great that you brought it up just now, right when the show's ending.
But he's supposed to have it. What the fuck? He doesn't. He overlooked. Now that he's a star, he overlooked.
this
It's
this
like,
sea of emails he gets all the time. You should have told him that maybe you emailed him the fucking.
Zen hates women, and they hate him right.
Unless they're
I
breaded.
just don't get them. Oh.
This just in, Torito is presenting at the what? You big motherfucker.
You meant Arby's, you fat fuck.
We love you, buddy.
Bye.
Love everybody. We'll see you later. Thank you. Bye.
Let me tell you a story about Alabama.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up. They got Gotta wake up. Gotta wake wake up, bitch, get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up.